What's up, motherfuckers? I'm trying to get my energy up because it's casual day, and we need a level of energy. There's a level of energy needed.
Can you move off to the side over there to the left so I can say my thing?
What do you mean move to the side? What are you asking
move
for?
over the side there, right there.
What?
What? Some squishes!
Discord's noise filter didn't like the first half of that.
Fucking damn you, Discord. What's up, squishies? Squishing on, squishing hard. Hey, wait, no, I wanted to go live. Yo, Brad Doof. It's about goddamn time you got here first time live.
I was expecting when you said you wanted to say something to Brad Doof that it was going to be like a nice little hello, like, oh, thank you so much for being here. And you were like, hey, you fucking about time. We've been waiting for you.
Hey, that's love, man. That's real, unfiltered.
Oh, did I
We've been waiting
to
for
get treats ahead of time?
Brad Doof. Non-stop.
The dog gets the treats because he's a good dog.
Whoa, what the shit?
Oh, wow. Rinzaid gifting a pile of subs.
Whoa!
Rins, how many subs was that? 25?
He says criminy on a criminy.
25? Zetbeak, thank you for subbing with Prime. Rinzaid, thank you for subbing. 6 months of sub. So Rinzaid subbed 6 months himself and also got all that. Oh my goodness. Boy, is so lazy today. Oh my god.
Crazy times. We're starting off on the train. Come on, ride that train.
We're on the hype train is rolling. It is rolling out of the station. Holy fuck.
Is the dog cam working?
Dog
Did
cam
you fix
working.
it like I told you
ahead of time.
Okay.
Rinzaid, that's amazing. Thank you so much. What a way to first time show up. Jesus Christ. That's something.
You know what it is?
Level 7?
It's wild.
Level 7 hype train? Insane.
Whoa.
Wild. My goodness.
Thank you, my penguin. My penguin toast? Oh, my penguin's toast. For a minute, I thought they were eating penguin toast, but it's very different when you're giving the penguin toast.
While we're doing this, yeah,
Cavion
6 chapters. Sorry, Reverie demands it. Well, we're gonna go through some gifts that we open on Patreon real quick. We did the full like going over them all, so this is gonna be very abridged.
Wait, people, you cannot even handle this. Just try to handle yourselves. Try to keep it down to a dull roar. You can't. Ready? All right, let's see.
Thank you, Haberfax, for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Incredible. Sub goal met. We're back over 300. We haven't raised a sub goal because this is just a place we've been floating. I might raise it. We'll see. So these are gonna be abridged gifts because we already did the full opening and going through them all, and I don't have the list of who got what anymore.
Can you just take a jump to the left for a second?
What is it? Why do I have to keep jumping to the left?
Because then you step to the right.
Okay.
It's only funny for people who know the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I only kind of got to see all these things because I was riding around in the back of an RV while we opened all the sub gifts.
The Patreon stream for Mama was recorded from the back of an RV.
While I was driving. Oh.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank you, Haberfax, for knowing.
So, first up, we have a hooded blanket that was sent by Kaito, our mod. Our first ever mod. This is for Mama, and it is beautiful.
Oh, it has a hood, and I'm going to wear it to school.
It has a hood, it has a pocket, it has a straw hat Jolly Roger, it has my cat's fur on it because it existed in this house for more than 2 seconds before being put in a package.
I'm going to wash it and put it in the dryer like a normal human being.
Gibby Ninja, let's not say she's almost caught up. Wano is 10% is about right now almost exactly 10% the length of the series. Wano is long. I have 2 cats. They are great little guys.
My heart. I was like, yay! Wait, what?
Yeah. We were also sent the first 3 volumes of D. Greyman and an omnibus, which I'm excited to read when I have a bit more time. The art is... This was adapted in an era where anime adaptations were pretty cheaply done, and my wife showed me the first few episodes, and it didn't look very good, and I've actually been shocked flipping through here at what the high quality of the art. It's really pretty. Like, so much more expressive and interesting.
Give me a picture.
Of D. Okay, I'll show you a D. Greyman picture. Let's flip to something that looks good. I want something that looks, like, particularly cool, because there's a few panels that are just crazy good looking in this.
Put your hands on your hip.
Here's a guy getting cut.
Oh, whoa, that's the one you chose?
Yeah,
I can't
he's
see it.
getting cut.
Try going lower. You're too high up. Oh, that's actually really beautiful. I like the sharp contrast.
Yeah, it's very good looking. Then I can't reach one of them, but we were sent the first 2 volumes of One Piece in Polish, as well as Polish Berserk, which is, I love
Which
this.
one?
This is
Which one
great.
was for me? I can't remember.
I think Polish One Piece, but I cannot remember.
I think it was Polish
Hopefully-
One Piece too.
Hopefully
I'm
present today.
so stoked. Look at that.
It is going to be a challenge when Mama Trock gets to weeklies. At first I was like, I don't want to do like every week recaps of each chapter, but also I don't know if I can resist it because I love talking about new chapters.
Can you show?
Oh, Dr. Jack is here today. Polish One Piece is for Mama Trock. That makes sense. I get Polish Berserk.
I didn't get to see Polish One Piece much. Can you show a picture from Polish Berserk though?
Yeah, I'll find Polish Berserk art. Here, I haven't read Berserk yet. Here's Mr. Berserk talking to a fairy. Oh, the fairy won't show up on the webcam. I'll turn the lights away. Yeah.
Oh my god, that art.
And this is the first volume. The mangaka, until his death, only got better and better at art. It's him. It's John Berserk. I know his name is Guts. I know that much. Mr. Guts Berserk. The big sword man. My workout sword is actually modeled after Guts Berserk's sword.
Can you show my devil fruit that Dr. Jack sent me?
Yes, I can. I'm just getting these ready.
From Dr. Jack because I don't know if you know this enough, but I love
so Dr. Jack was insistent that one of them was for Lav's birthday, but you have decided to commandeer it. You'll have to convince Dr. Jack, otherwise I'm following through on birthday wishes. This is the incredible Mera no Mi. Fucking love it. It's so pretty. Oh my god, look at this.
So beautiful.
Yep. The Gomu Gomu no Mi had an accident in transit. It looks like, and the stem fell off. I'm gonna find my epoxy resin to put it back together carefully. Has a stem. It's gone right now, but it's so beautiful. These are the best fake devil fruits I've ever seen. I mean, of course they're fake. There's not, you know.
They're the only devil fruits I've ever seen, so they're my favorite.
Okay, but the Yami Yami no Mi, not only have I never seen a Yami Yami no Mi in person, but it's the best looking one. The leaves are so good. The shine is so good. Oh, it's incredible. This one's for me. This one's mine.
You're just upset, Red Potato.
I fucking, no, they do look tasty. I want to bite this. Like, it looks so juicy.
Do not bite it.
I'm not gonna bite it. It's made of plastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mod.
I'm glad you took that name. I was gonna try.
Level
7 hype train today. Thank you guys. You were amazing.
Oh, good God.
Now the last ones I have on hand are Science Gifts, which are a bunch of the prints of Art Nouveau One Piece girls. I'm gonna turn these away so that we don't have too much glare. We have a beautiful Nami, looking elegant. Actually, we should get the smaller ones.
Oh my god! See, I didn't get to see these in the driving around in the back of the freaking RV.
Cyan, I wanted to ask you if you're okay with me giving a couple of the bookmarks to some close friends of mine. I'm gonna keep almost everything for myself, but I don't have enough books on the go to use all the bookmarks, and I have people who love fun bookmarks in my life.
Listen to me right now.
Thank you.
I get to have some pictures.
You do.
Yeah.
Here is Nico Nicole Robin. I don't know why I love calling her Nicole. I find it funny.
We don't legit Hawaiian. Whoa, that's crazy. We don't legit Hawaiian because we were doing it afterwards.
I think the Vivi might be the best looking one. She's so good.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You legitimately made these?
Yeah, the flowers are incredible. The Perona, I think, has my favorite background of all of them.
Oh, wow.
So beautiful. This is incredible.
Oh, Dr. Jack sent me some of the close-ups.
Oh my god. Here is Shirahoshi, looking fantastic. My favorite of the princesses in One Piece.
Hoshi. Oh my god. Look at Wimpy.
She's so cute.
She is so adorable.
Yeah, and we got all of these in large prints, then more regular printer sheet prints, and then also bookmarks. Which bookmark would you like, Mama Drock? And you can't pick. Corona is spoken for, and I'm trying to decide if I want Robin or Shirahoshi more. I think I'm probably going to take Shirahoshi.
I can't believe that you're choosing before me when I'm your mama and made you.
All right. But okay, which one would you like?
Holy criminy.
I'm not very good at getting these back in the plastic. They might just have to go back in the sleeve so I don't damage them. Sorry, I will be careful with them. Yeah, where's the doctor?
You'll have to show me marks tomorrow.
Give Bellamy another treat. I will show you them tomorrow.
Hey, we gotta watch this later. Dr. Jack.
Also, before we start, Cyan sent letters that I didn't notice last time because they were folded between
and I said
some of the
to you,
sheets.
Was there a letter? Because you know that I love letters, and you were like, I don't know. I don't think so.
I said I don't think so because I didn't see it.
By the way, in real life pics of close-ups of the.
Oh, Dr. Jack sent the story. I don't think. Should we read it today?
Anyways, I want you to see it because Dr. Jack is holding the fruits and doing the Blackbeard laugh, and it's amazing.
That's great. Okay, I found the letter. I dropped it earlier when I was handling prints. I'm very clumsy. Someone has also asked me to pet and feed the boy. Dog cam.
And who's in Discord can go over and see Dr. Jack's amazing.
Where did I?
Close fruits.
Where did I put? I just had dog treats. Oh no, I threw them so far away. I'm a bit scrambled today, guys.
You paladin berserker. I agree.
There we go, baby. Okay. So now we'll read these beautiful letters and then we'll get to it.
Thank you, 27 TCN.
Well, but I really want to say, these are incredible. All right. Oh God, I have to get them in the right order. I think it's the right order.
I'm gonna go back into Discord when we're done and watch Dr. Jack laugh like Blackbeard again. That was hilarious.
Are you ready for letters?
Yeah. Are you reading them yourself?
Have a Bellamy emote.
Can you read?
I think so.
Okay.
Hey, Drock and Mama Drock. Thank you for being such a great part of the One Piece community and for always being a pleasure to listen to both on stream and in the VODs. Aw, you guys are such great company to have while I'm drawing or sewing. I'm learning so many new things about my favorite story and our world through you guys, so thank you for being so awesome and insightful. It's amazing. I sent you A3 and A4. I don't know. I don't do art prints, so I never know what the size of paper are, so I'm glad you said. A3 and A4 prints of my One Piece artworks, along with bookmarks of the same pieces. The bookmarks are so good, by the way. This is a project I originally started back at the end of 2019. I was inspired by an SBS question regarding what the flower resemblance of the Straw Hats would be. Nami got a sunflower, Robin got a Casablanca lily. So I assigned flowers to some other girls and started to draw them. Oh, that's great. In December of 2023, I decided to revisit this project, but this time make it full Art Nouveau, full body, and in... I can read words.
Can you? I just asked you.
Okay. I can read words. I can't read this one word. I have also drawn girls from other anime in this big project. Flowers, Nami, Sunflower, Robin, Casablanca Lily, Vivi, Carnation, Corona, Peony, that makes sense, Shira, Hoshi, Stazgan, Stazgaz, Lily. Please help me. Full color cyan, okay. I got a writing degree, Red Potato. I don't need to have any reading ability, don't worry. Stargazer Lily, there we go. I figured it out.
Oh, is this done in cursive?
No, it's printed. It's just printed with pretty lettering instead of like looking like it was printed by a computer. It's actually very nice penmanship. It's just I'm terrible at reading handwriting. It is Stargazer Lily. You are all right. I will draw Boa Hancock, Rebecca, Koala, and other girls in the near future. I'm looking forward to those. That sounds great. Just didn't have the time to finish them before sending the my art to print. These are great. Then there's a little bit that I can't say out loud, and I appreciate you for mentioning, and I appreciate the censorship you did. It was very well done. Don't worry, it's just we're avoiding a spoiler for you, and I can't tell you which character it's related to, or you're going to look into things.
Oh, I will.
No, you can't. Thank you once again for everything that you guys do. Keep being awesome and super. It's got caps, so I had to say it bigger.
I love
Lots
that.
of love, Cyan, she, her. I'm glad I got your pronouns right. I've got to be honest, I have been assuming your pronouns based on art style and handwriting alone, and I probably should have checked.
That was really lovely. Thank you so much.
P.S.
What is
I'll
Dr.
also draw
Jack's?
Bonnie. We're all glad you like Bonnie.
Oh, good God. I can't believe that effing joke has made its way into here.
It's
Oh,
everywhere. It made it through the
beautiful.
mail. That joke made it to real life through the mail.
The story is about 10
Oh,
minutes long.
okay. So we will probably read that on another Patreon stream, Dr. Jack, instead of here, because we've already taken a delay. I mean, I'll read it off stream and then we'll tell it again on a Patreon stream, I think.
Unless we're not very fast, it's very slow.
Unless we
because
get
there's
through
6
this really fast, then
chapters.
we'll just have time at the end, because it's only 6
Yep.
chapters.
And then I can do some reading too.
Oh, you're excited to read, because you get to start the arc that comprises 10% of the story right now.
Oh, Jesus God.
So. For everybody to know what's up fully, I want to mention that we live read this section, these 6 chapters on Patreon. Your first reading of them was live from the back of a traveling RV.
It's worth mentioning that at first it wasn't traveling.
You're right.
And
At first it was stationary.
because we were at the hospital and we parked it in the parking lot so our daughter could kind of spend the day not in the hospital bed for a change. And she could watch the Canucks play with her dad.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was reading them live to the Patreon. And then we had to get going because we were meeting family and stuff to visit with her. And so I just drove around in the back of an RV trying to read. Really, I had very good Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it was a stable connection.
Yeah. Wano is so short and in no way significant. I could just skim it.
Yeah, totally. We've actually split Wano into 5. Someone gave recommendations for chapter breaks, and I think they're right. I wanted to do it a different way to get certain points to be the endings, but it just didn't make sense. Like, that many chapters to navigate. For me to get what I wanted, you would have had to read like 50 chapter sections.
Jesus God, no.
Yeah.
I think
Maybe
some
we'd
people
skip it.
recommend skipping Wano.
Yeah, I've heard people say that.
Some people have said, you know what, Wano's not important, just move through.
How do we talk about the Reverie? Where do we start? Like,
well, I don't know if you know this, but it starts at 9:03.
yeah, you're a genius. You figured it out. You cracked the code.
Thank you. Finally, the recognition I deserve. I'm trying to figure out how to sit so that I don't get more leg cramps. It's my 1,000,000th year anniversary today.
That's true. You've been married for 1 million years now.
Yeah, it's
As of
a
today.
while. And so I need to make sure that I can walk at the end of the thing because I promised Papa Doc we would go out for supper, and I don't want to be the person who falls on. Oh, Luffy's birthday and my anniversary are on the same day.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know it was Luffy's birthday today.
In Japan, apparently.
Oh, cool. Oh, because it's Children's Day, yeah.
May the 4th be with me. Yeah, and also it is my happy ass anniversary of happiness, and we're going out for dinner in a happy ass place.
Oh, Luffy's birthday's 5/5. Never mind.
5/5? Oh.
Yeah, not 5/4. But still,
okay,
it's
but
close.
apparently they're saying that because it's already 5/5 in Japan.
True.
Thank
so
you.
In Japan right now, it's Luffy's birthday.
So we can celebrate it all the time we want.
Is that how time zones work? Sorry, I'm a time zone chauvinist. I don't believe in time zones, so I don't care for any of this.
Your time zone chauvinist thing is weird.
You ever commit to a bit just because it's dumb?
Yeah. You hate it.
Yes, I do. It's great.
You remember when I committed to the bit of your father's ringtone when you were a kid?
Oh God, what was that?
Dun, 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 dun.
I don't remember this at all. No.
It was the song Explosive. Just the like bow chicka wow wow part.
Oh, you're right.
And
Yeah,
I put it
no, I
on
do.
to be funny, and then you and your sister hated it so much, I just kept it. I just committed hard, and I hated it, and it would ring in public and embarrass the living heck out of me, and I just kept it because you guys hated it so much.
I have an anti-time zone agenda. There's only one real time zone. The Gross Demon subscriber Prime. Thank you so much for more years of theories. Oh, we'll get that. If the series goes on another 4 years, we'll be theorizing the whole time.
A bit only dies when it's
Someone
forgotten.
might add a straw hat. That's very funny.
I love our people community so much. The shit that comes out of the mouth, the things that they do. I love it all. I'm here for it all. Okay. I'm gonna get going.
We're gonna get going
here. I'm gonna do this here. I'm gonna do this here now.
Okay.
I almost want to just read it to them.
Even though you already did the red.
Like it's so hard because like I just want to theory craft and talk and pull it apart, but at the same time it's like it's 6 chapters and it feels like I don't know.
Oh, Nicorion, it's just a bit. I don't actually want to abolish time zones. This is look, if there is genuinely a faction that believes in the abolishment of time zones, I might need to pick a new bit because time zone chauvinism and saying that there's only one real time zone has been fully a bit the whole time.
Just Paladin and Berserker mean by that?
Programmers hate time zones. That makes sense that you guys would.
I want to abolish time zones.
Don't worry. Actually, you are not late at all. We
You're
haven't
not
done anything.
Imagine if someone did nothing and nothing happened.
Well, we did look over the gifts we got, which was pretty great. But if what you're here for is us talking about One Piece, you're not late.
It was legendary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Drock was bought by Big Time Zone. That's true. That's what happened.
Okay, it's time to start talking. I've just put on my incredibly expensive chapstick for streamers.
Okay.
It's Nuts Rev de Mille. It's French lip balm, so you know it's good. All right.
Yeah.
I've got a sneeze stuck on my nose. That's the perfect place to start.
Okay.
Chapter 90310. The very beginning of it, going through the like Sanji finding the little thing from his dick brother inside of his jeans and Luffy and Chopper losing their shit. That was whatever. It was kind of cute. But what really mattered is that we got to see Zeus was so happy being close to Nami inside of the baton and came out fatter than usual, if I'm going to be honest. I feel like Zeus is just eating it up good inside that baton. And I think that what is also very, very good about that is a fight between a cloud and a man to see who could be the best servant. Really, really an odd thing to brag about. Let me be clear. I was her servant first. Treat the boy.
Treat the boy. Sanji is in the weird place of being very proud of how hard he can simp. And you know what? Go for it, my guy.
Discounting the bullshit moment that I think that Oda did Sanji so dirty in Thriller Bark. Discounting that, I'm like a massive Sanji stan.
Okay. We're Team Sanji in this house.
We are Team Sanji in this house.
Don't let
Although
the Zoro
you tried to
fans
divide
hear
our
you.
houses. You tried
Don't
to
let the
divide
Zoro
our
fans
houses.
hear you. They'll point out that Zoro could beat Sanji in a fight.
Oh God, why do we need to fight each other all the time?
Because it's the one argument Zoro fans have. Oh.
Let's just sit the shit down and eat. Who's cooking?
Sounds like a Sanji fan to me, TBH. Sit down and share a meal.
Let's just share a meal. Who's making that meal? Oh, that's right, it's Sanji.
Goku would win, exactly.
I love the fight between them. I just don't find any need. I think that it's hilarious to watch Sanji be so ridiculously
simped.
That
is actually true. I forgot that the Zoro fan base has one other argument these days, which is his tits. That's become another selling point for Team Zoro.
They're not wrong about his tits. When I saw that
going for him.
mouse pad, I was just like, God dang. Those are some special boobies. And it's about time that a man got special boobies.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's been long enough in this series that it only makes sense for Zoro to be the way he is.
Also, Zoro fans can point out that you gave him quite the package to deliver in the nothing happened image.
That's not, I don't think that's true.
That is so true.
I don't remember
I was
that's
looking
happening.
at that and I was like, that's crinkled, but that could be a Zoro fan's favorite day. And people say Oda can only draw one body type.
The issue is he can draw lots of body types. He can only draw one body type of attractive woman.
Okay.
Although we have variety, as pointed out. Otohime exists.
Zoro wields 3 swords, 2 boobies, and 1 brain cell. Oh, I still love Zoro, guys. Oh my god.
The Zoro Sanji rivalry, I do find genuinely funny because, like, while this is reductive and there are lots of Zoro fans who have character-driven reasons he's their favorite Straw Hat, I will so often see Sanji fans talk about the characteristics they like in his character as a person, and Zoro fans be like, Zoro would kick his ass, and I... Like, it's not most Zoro fans, but it's enough that it happens, and I find it very funny. Thank you, Felici?
Where?
We got a sub.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Miss Monday has a good design, but Miss Monday is a baby.
Oh, no, wasn't Miss Monday the buff one? That's Golden Week.
Oh,
Miss
right,
Monday was the muscle girl.
Yeah, you're right. No, I liked Miss Monday's design.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to do this thing where we talk about One Piece now and what happened.
That is usually what we do.
I felt really bad for Sanji that he was exposed as a Vinsmoke on his poster. Thank you so much, Roxanne. Like, can you imagine? Thank you, Nami. Nami, 457. Because can you imagine? You try to avoid the fact that you are in the family and then it is the thing that is like right out in the entire world for everyone to see. The crushingness. But I'm glad he went up to 300 million berries because I felt pretty shit for him. And more importantly, right now he is winning in the Zoro versus Sanji.
He has the higher bounty for the first time in his career. Will it be the last time? Who knows?
Anyone who's got 3/4 of a brain.
The thing I love that I've seen pointed out that is great about Sanji is every time there's a bounty reveal, he's disappointed.
Yeah.
First bounty reveal ever, he's disappointed that he doesn't have one.
I want you to delete your art.
Oh, okay. I'll figure out a new way to go about this.
Good. Can you make the emu taller, please?
A big hat.
You heard me.
Yeah, so first bounty reveal, Luffy's the only one with a bounty. Second bounty reveal, he's disappointed because Zoro gets a bounty and he doesn't. Then he gets one that is hand drawn. Then he continues to be below Zoro. Now he has only his name, or he gets his real name. So every time there's a bounty reveal, there has to be a reason for Sanji to be disappointed.
I'm super happy for Sanji right now, even if he doesn't see the happiness himself. And I like the moment when Luffy thinks that his bounty goes down to 150 million. When I was reading it, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And in my head, I was like, it must have gotten out. Oh, I think I might have even said it out loud. It must be actually 1.5
At one point you did, but then it kept going on and you were like, what the fuck? Why would they?
And I was like, wait, why the fuck aren't we going back and correcting this? There's no way it's not 1.5 billion.
No, I had the same thing on my first reading. I kept being like, they're misunderstanding something. Is it a 1.5 billion? But then like, I kept being confused. And then when it happened at the end, I was like, okay, good, fucking fine. Yeah.
Thank God, because this is ridiculous. And watching all of them come out and having Wimpy Hoshi, who's my fave, decide that she's going to go to Reverie so she isn't called Wimpy Hoshi by Luffy was so sweet. She's so little. Like, she's so young as a human. Like, her personality is young. That I think that I love.
A very sheltered upbringing.
Yeah, so I just love her as being, like, trying to live up to Luffy as a big brother type thing, who's saying to her, like, don't be embarrassing.
So apparently we have yet to remove emu as a banned word, so people are spelling emu as EMU.
Oh, we had it as a banned word before?
Oh, Kaito has banned so many words ahead of time to stop you from being spoiled.
Oh, Kaito, that's
Kaito
so
has done such a
sweet.
good job at keeping words banned.
What a good Kaito. So her going up was incredible, but for me, one of the most incredible things is once again, he does it again. He travels the world just like updating us on how everyone is doing and where everyone is by showing us people looking at either a bounty or an article or whatever to find out that I got not one, people, but 2 diamond stars in this while we were reading out loud.
Yeah. On our
Was
live read,
so
Mama
cool.
was gifted 2 diamond stars within this little section. Oh, we also skipped, you get a purple mushroom. The Straw Hats didn't show up to the Reverie. However...
What are you talking about? The Reverie is continuing.
Yeah, but the Reverie arc. However, because it is continuing, we are holding off on the delivery of the purple mushroom.
Yeah, until we see if it's done. I just assumed
until
that
we see that it's done,
hold off.
You will not get a purple mushroom. But in the Reverie arc, Straw Hats ain't doing shit.
Yeah, I'm cool with the purple mushrooms. They're a better looking graphic.
Yeah, the little animation we have now is great for them. Should I play that really quick just so people see it? Yeah, we should play it. Everybody, look at that. Look at that mushroom. Good lord. Oh, it's below my gifts. That's funny.
It's so pretty. The slimy leaking green. Come on, who doesn't want that shit? Okay. So news bugged around the entire world. Luffy wins. And then it goes, who dared to confront the Emperor of the Sea, whose supremacy has gone unchallenged for decades. The newspaper stated that according to reliable sources, Straw Hat Luffy had already had 7 powerful pirate crews under his sway, combining the authority of a captain with over 5,000 followers, the notoriety of a brotherhood with both Ace and the number 2 of the Revolutionaries, Sabo, the extreme charisma and leadership to assume impromptu command for a formidable trio, of an army of evil Germa 66, the Sun Pirates and Fire Tank Pirates, the calculated strategic brilliance to execute the destruction of the Queen's castle, and to strengthen and defeat the officers worth 80 million and 1 billion berry. The results of this incident was clear that all Straw Hat Luffy was victorious. It was the arrival of a 5th Emperor of the Sea. I was like, shut up. Strategic brilliance was maybe pushing it. Like, I really like the idea of them calling what Luffy does strategic brilliance, but come the shit on today with the 5th Emperor of the Sea. So that is my first, amazing diamond star, because I predicted that Luffy would be a 5th thing.
Yeah, when you thought there was 4 things, you thought he'd be both part of them and not, and be a 5th thing, which is crazy. Yeah, Beji gets no credits at all. Gold star for Dofi prediction? Oh, what was the Dofi prediction?
We're gonna have to wait for Twist Minder.
Ads are starting soon, but while we're in ads, tell us what the new gold star... Oh, him being in jail was a prediction? Okay.
Excellent.
Gold star for
I like the extreme charisma and leadership to assume impromptu command over a formidable trio. That's a really important part, because we just spent the last
yes,
how
Dr.
many
Jack.
arcs? Pardon?
Yes, Dr. Jack. Sorry, keep going.
We just spent the last how many freaking arcs talking about leadership and seeing it from a bunch of different perspectives. So for it to be recognized in its own little square, the extreme charisma and leadership to assume impromptu command over a formidable trio, that one is deserved. And that kind of highlights the most impressive thing about Luffy is impromptu command. That's the shit that he's dealing out across the world. Everywhere he goes, people want to know if they can be impromptu commanded by him.
I like it. It's a great acknowledgement of what he has, even if it's a little bit of an embellishment in a lot of ways.
A lot of it is glazing, but like, on the other hand, some of it is very true. Or are we in ad? I kind of like now whenever I see glazing, I'm just gonna think about what happened to Drake. Oh, Drake.
What happened?
He flew too close to the sun. And he attacked somebody in a song, and they came back hard.
I have not heard of this, but I don't know the hip hop world like you do. I'm not in the loop.
He made fun of somebody, and then then they came back in a really big way. And
Right.
the freaking song they put out was basically like Drake was like, "You're pretty short. You're under the normal height for men and the average height for men, and a few other things." And everyone was like, "Oh." And Kendrick Lamar comes back and was like, "Everybody hates you. Everything about you is the worst. The people that you admire despise you." Like it's so bad.
Jesus Christ.
It's not like a response. It's more like how to break a man's soul. It was just wow. It was wow. Thank you very much, Shen, for the subscription. Whoa, 8 months. That's a honking ass subscription.
8 months? Oh my god.
That's a
People are
lot of
wild
faith. You know
today.
what that is? That's a marriage. That's a streaming marriage, is what that is. We're now
Ooh.
stream married, Shengraf.
Oh, I should go over the spreadsheet. That's a good idea. What if for a Patreon stream we went over the spreadsheet of your predictions and
So
assessed
much
whether the
clean
person's
thing,
spreadsheet was
Arthur.
right about what is a diamond or
That'd be
gold star or
so
mushroom?
fun.
I think
Yes.
look at oh
Anyways,
god. Do you
I
mind
just
if we
want to
wait
put
until
out
we're caught up? Because I would like to do a person made the spreadsheet because I would love to do like we're caught up, let's assess.
you know what? That would be amazing. Yeah, no, who's the
That way we
person who's
can just
manifesting
fully
my
look at
one-year
it.
marriage? I just want to put out there before we go on, R.I.P. Drake. We're here for you. I hope you're swimming somewhere cool and healing those burns.
Who's
Okay.
TS?
What?
Someone said TS's feminism is fake, and who's TS? Taylor Swift?
Regis Rag. How much Regis Rag?
I don't know enough about celebrity culture to judge that at all. Like,
Boy.
don't get me wrong. There are many, many, many people who will barely reach the boy. Doug Kim, go!
The camera.
There are many, many people who use identity politics to protect themselves in really disingenuous ways. That is absolutely a thing that happens. Like fucking Candace Owens talking about being black every time she says some anti-Semitic shit. People do this. People will use identity politics to protect themselves. I don't know enough about celebrity culture to say if it applies to Taylor Swift.
No. I just wanted to put there R.I.P. to Drake because I just feel bad for him today.
He's dead forever. He's been killed.
No, he'll maybe come back. But for now, you know what? I just feel bad for people when they put shit out there and then they just get like wah, 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 in public. I think, you just got to be like, I see you. You reached a little too far, Icarus, and then you were burnt it up. And good luck healing. I hope he doesn't respond either. It's not a good idea. But let's not get into that. Thank you, Mr.
The way they'll think you did, the best thing he could do is nothing and just be like,
exactly.
I lost. Honestly, the best thing might be to go make up a statement and be like, yo, I lost, man. Fucking you win.
I think he might be right. If he came on and was like, whoa, that hit hard. Well done.
You fucking win. Well done. I shouldn't have. Like when you lose that bad, genuinely, in my experience, the best thing to do is admit you lost.
I agree. It's like apologizing, but being really honest about it. People love actual honest apologies. Okay, I am doing the reading
That's
now.
so true. He's just a Canadian rapper in One Piece. It's weird. It's so weird that
I'm trying to move on. Let me move on.
Honey. Go for it. Go for it. Move on.
So I did love the part where they talked about his leadership. That part was really awesome because Oda made a really great point when he made this little blurb that he has extreme charisma and leadership. But the most important thing that he did is he put out there impromptu command. And I think that is something that I want to pay more attention to because we talk about it, but we don't talk about it in that simple wording, impromptu command. And he does that wherever he goes. And part of the command that he does is he is forcing people to take part in their own freedom and in their own future. And he does it in a commanding, thoughtful way. And that's pretty impressive considering how truly chaotic he is. I started to wonder too about you, Drock, because you're kind of a chaotic human being.
Maybe.
And you've always said that probably since you were 15, 16, that you embrace chaos and you think chaos is a great way to make change and keep your life more interesting. And I started to wonder about how much of your chaotic feelings kind of came from One Piece, if it had influence over.
Definitely, it was a thing that I liked before One Piece, but I think it's why Luffy appeals to me so deeply as a character.
Yeah, I started to think like that there was some feedback loop inside of Luffy's chaos.
Oh, definitely that.
Yeah. Anyway, I also love the idea that he was the fifth emperor, but
Narwhals,
right away,
don't like any Sonic character. Never liked Sonic. Let's move on. Sorry, now I'll let you move on. I had to answer that question.
Right away, as soon as they were like the fifth out of the sea, I was like, oh no, we have stretched our arm too far, and I think it was a little too quick to do that, and I don't think that Luffy is in quite the position to do it. Later on, the bitch of a man completely agreed with me, and said like, yeah, no, you've gone too far, and I was like, he has gone too far. I feel pretty uncomfortable about it for him. I mean, if he embraces his armada a little heavy, maybe he could do better. And I'm hoping that maybe there is more armada talk in Wano, because wow, that's a emperor. Like, look at the people who are emperors.
Yep.
That feels like a lot for a straw hat crew.
I mean, he's conquering islands. He has a grand fleet that is operating in his name. Even the grand fleet who were at the Reverie are like, yeah, this is my last job, and then we're going to be open pirates after this. So, like, he has a global presence in the world, just also...
I don't disagree. I just think that he doesn't have the organization or the ability to use his people yet. So I think this is going to be a really interesting time. Love how the underwater pirates are thwarted so that we can see the hockey that has happened to our boy, because Kobe is like, what is Kobe's hockey? Why is he able to see things ahead a little bit? Because it feels like
his observation's always been his specialty, right?
I agree, but to the point that he's seeing ahead a little more than usual. Like his future sight is a bit future sighted. It's a little over future sight.
Okay.
Well, think about it. Think about how far in advance both the Mochi and the Luffy got, and Kobe is predicting ahead of time where things are going to go off, to the point that Helmeppo was like, how is your color of observation so good though? I never even sensed a thing, Kobe. And Kobe is already there turning up the weapons and exploding them above. Like that's a dastardly amount of future sight.
It's tough to say, because like it could be crazy future sight, it could be future sight, it could just be like observation hockey for feeling the intent of the people shooting the missiles.
Yeah.
Like,
it feels
if he got their
wild.
intent, he could predict where it's going without like future sighting.
No, even Helmeppo thinks he future sighted.
Instincts around like ballistics from his training, and then also sensed their intent of where they were aiming and firing.
Yeah. Helmeppo, and I think you're wrong. Helmeppo, by the way, looking good.
Helmeppo, I stand by, is one of the best glow-ups in the series because of how low the bar was.
I mean, yeah, the bar was pretty low, if we're going to be honest.
He is glowed up. Look, the YouTuber Grand Line Review, there are many points of disagreement I have, but a point of agreement I have with him is Helmeppo is one of the great triumphs of Oda's writing, because how do you take a character that shit and make us love him and root for him and see him like grow and get excited for him? It's incredible.
And we only saw him in the panels. Like, we only saw him on title pages for the longest time.
Yep.
He's been in this story proper very little. And then every single time he shows up and he looks like he's glowed a little more and he's in a better position, we're all like, oh my God, Helmeppo, you've done so well for yourself. We're so happy. Like, he managed to create such a dimensional character and make us give a shit while not seeing him almost ever.
Yep. It's great. I love I love Helmeppo's arc. I love his design after his glow up. I think he's great. I also think like there's something cool about the fact that him and his dad had these very different ways of leaning into the awkwardness of their genetics, and Helmeppo doesn't feel like he needs to masculinize himself and hide who he is. He just kind of embraces and leans into it. His stupid butt chin is still out there, but he's kind of just pulling it off.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. I'm kind of liking Helmeppo, but you know what I like even more? I like that they could tell that Kobe was a massive Luffy fan, and they were like, "We won't tell anyone. Would you like to read it?" And then he's just like, "Oh man, Luffy is just so dang cool. He just keeps going further and further. Every time I read an article about you, I think back to that day." And then they're like, "Aw, oh Helmeppo, Captain Helmeppo, you're so awesome. Do you love Luffy? We won't tell anyone." It's just so cool to have him like totally stand for Luffy. It's just my heart.
When he
But
says every time I read about him, I think about that day, I briefly imagine him flashing back to Luffy kicking his ass on Enies Lobby and going, okay, not that one. And then to Marineford when Kobe's like, I'm gonna fight you even though, and then just getting punched in the face, like, okay, not that one.
you know what I see every single time he says that? I always see poor little Kobe rowing the boat. I always
Yeah, that was that one, I guess. That's a good day.
Aw, ever since that one day when I was rowing the boat for you.
You were eating an
I always
apple, I
see.
think.
You were just leaning back telling me about how you were going to be king of the pirates. I love that time.
The most
So,
impactful day of Kobe's life was a Tuesday for Luffy. No, it's when he met Zoro. It was important. It just was important for Zoro. All right. So,
this is the guy who screwed up my deal. What's he doing in that old hag's place? Mm-hmm. And then me and Blackbeard are on the same page. Say, haha, an emperor? You're not ready for that yet, Straw Hat. Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be a whole smorgasbord of challenges for you. But you know what? You're already smorgasbord challenging anyways, so why not? You might as well. And I liked how angry Mum was. But here's the part that really matters. The part that really matters is the reaction of our good old friend Red Hair Shanks. And Red Hair Shanks, your bounty isn't 150 million, it's 1.5 billion, they say. And they're like almost whole eyeballs flying out of heads. But the reason that I like it is when Red Hair Shanks says, I guess we'll be meeting soon. And I was like, oh, because I can't even. When they meet up again, I might not be able to read it. For the tears will be pouring from my eyes. The
aww.
snot will be flying out of my nose. I will not, because that's how you cry. Everyone knows that how you cry is mostly snot. I will not be able to handle it. I will just go wild.
I stand by team Shanks dies before they get to meet, and it's tragic.
So now I know that Shanks is still alive where you are, because you wouldn't say that otherwise.
Reading into things I say.
I'll read into everything you say. Just always remember that. So Shanks is still alive and they haven't met up yet. I see. I see. I have a new idea for if we don't kill Luffy.
Oh?
Well, if they don't kill Luffy and we want to see the ending of it, I mean, don't get me wrong, we could still kill him. Given, and by we I mean Oda, because we're not writing the story.
No, we have no power here.
Yeah, but if the hat was passed on to Roger, which I think it was, Roger passed it on to Red Hair Shanks while he was still crewing on his boat, and Red Hair Shanks passed it on to Luffy. I think we're going to get to see Luffy pass the hat on.
I think that makes sense.
And I think that will be pretty amazing.
And I think he's not going to do it until Shanks is dead.
Yeah, I think you're right, because I was not going to talk about that part, but I guess we have no choice now.
Well, yeah, because Luffy's not going
because he
to
promised
break
that
his
he would give
promise
the
to
hat
Shanks.
back.
So,
Yeah.
So the only way he could give it on is if Shanks is dead and he becomes the person who needs to give it to someone.
Yeah,
I have a theory for who he will give it to, but we are not there
I'm
yet.
hoping
so
it's a girl. I'm hoping it's a girl.
Well, the character I think it is a girl, and I can't say who it is because you're not there yet.
I think it would be so incredible
This
just
is
in
a
the story
theory I've had,
itself.
yeah.
And it would also say a lot about Oda's journey as a father with his own daughters if he gave it to a girl afterwards. But I think we're going to get to watch him pass the hat on.
I think it's a girl. I think it's a girl who a lot of the writing people have read into and been like, oh, the writing around this girl is how Oda sees his daughters. And so I think you're 100% right. And this is a theory that I've had since before you've said this. So when you get there, I'm excited to talk about it.
That's really cool. So that's what I decided. I have decided that we are going to see Luffy pass the hat on, even though he is going to be Pirate King. He's going to be comfortable in the role or whatever. And I think we're going to get to watch him pass the hat on and tell that person, come see me when you're big enough, or give me the hat back when you're big enough. And I think it's the circle of life. And then we're all going to go, humana, humana, manana. And then we're going to cry and cry. That's what I think. That's my prediction.
All right.
Yeah. I love that the Revolutionaries are hanging out on Kamabaka Island. I think it's incredible. I think it's absolutely incredible.
I mean,
that's
Blackbeard blew up Baltigo, so they needed to go somewhere.
Like, where else is better for the Revolutionaries than on this island where all the mountains are hills and pink hearts? Like, rainbows always in the background. Tell me a better place for a revolutionary army who says, and I quote, I think that it's time to take on to declare war against the celestial dragons. I was like,
there's something
where
so great about
better
having a tea party in fairyland and be like, I'm gonna declare war on God.
I honestly think it couldn't have happened in a better place, because if you consider that Kamabaka is talking about people who are trans or who are dressing or presenting in ways that are
gender
feminine,
non-conforming in any way, whether that's sexuality or gender identity.
Exactly. So when you think about the non-conforming aspect of it, and the idea that they are living as large, out loud, and taking up space as much as they want, if you think about that, then it is the most incredible setting to say, like, we don't like the way in which you are forcing us into the boxes that you have designed. People should get to live the life that they want. The world should be united. And so for that reason, we are declaring war. And they do it on this island where people have already declared their own kind of individual wars against how society is. So I think in actuality, I am being totally non-facetious in saying, like, the best place to declare war against the celestial dragons. See you later, gods. Enjoy a taste of... Oh, I was really upset. Why is this little bitch, Captain Pinkbeard, got Momo on his belt?
Just got a cool belt.
No, he doesn't just have a cool belt. Why does he have Momo on his belt? Is that a thing I don't get to know?
Unironically, I don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. This is not a detail I have ever thought about or noticed. I have no idea what you're referring to at the moment.
I already looked it up, and I know it means peach or pink, and it's on him, but I think it's just rather
because his
weird.
Name is Peachbeard, yeah, and yeah.
I know it's Pinkbeard.
Well, it's translated as Peachbeard in some translations because it can mean peach or pink.
But I think it's too much of a coincidence that we've called one of the people from Wano, who's supposedly this connection person, Momo.
You know and why Momonosuke is called that, right?
Why?
Because he's a reference to Momotaro, the boy in the peach, and that's why his head is shaped like a peach, because he's Momonosuke. He's Peach Boy.
Yeah, I know he is a reference, but I think it's weird that they chose to then echo it on this belt. I don't know. It just feels like a weird echo.
That makes sense, because Kurohige, Shirahige.
Yeah. Anyway. I couldn't be happier that this little 52 million berry ugly ass dude with the terrible stance. I don't like people who stand that way.
Sorry, people I'm just gonna let you go. There are details you were noticing that I do not remember.
He stands like he has a dragon between his legs.
Okay.
You know? Like he's used to riding dragons.
All right.
Mama ate the roast fruit. I don't like it. He's standing as his legs are as far apart and bent as they could possibly be in this picture, and I was like, ugh, no one needs to stand that way. Close your legs. And then he beats the crap out of people and thinks that he's so cool. And you know what doesn't happen? That doesn't happen because some biatches from the Revolutionary Army show up. And you can't really read their names when you look at it in color on here. I looked inside of my book because I didn't have my book on me that day to see whether or not you could see it better when it was in black and white. And it is marginally better in black and white, which was nice because I was like, I have no fucking idea. It's way better within the manga, but when they do it on this page, they literally put the Japanese kanji over top of all their names. You can't even read them. But the Karasu Lindbergh, is it? It says Bellow Betty here, but what was the name that you told me?
It's Bellow
Pardon?
Betty. Bellow Betty.
Okay. And then Morley. You know what's really interesting about them is that they almost fall into the four directions as well.
Well, they represent the four seas, the east, north, south, and west blue.
I know, but they're a mirror of the four directions, just like I said the four emperors were.
It makes sense that
Including
mythology would be in both places, especially with your ideas around Dragon and his representation.
Yeah, exactly. Including Karasu. Later on, they're like, did he just snap? And they gave him the mask, the plague mask, which is also like a turtle's beak.
Oh,
That's what we call it, right?
I would go bird for the plague doctor mask 100%. Vermilion bird
Except
is
for
what
he is from the Northern Forces, which is the Black Tortoise.
All right.
And then later on, when he's doing it and he's fighting against them, they literally say, did he just snap? And all he says snap, and then closes his beak on them. And I was like, it's almost like a snapping turtle. I don't choose where they're from. He is from the north, which is represented for the black turtle.
I always forget. For some reason, turtle feels so south to me.
Yeah. Red Potato sent me a thing asking if I think that Kirasu is a devil fruit because of his flying apart and then flying.
He does turn
and if
into
he
birds.
if he isn't, that's some kind of like hockey doesn't generally, break your body apart into birds.
Yeah. Usually hockey not known for ripping you apart into birds. That's not a thing people have generally done with their hockey so far.
I think it would have to be a devil fruit unless we're now suggesting that he has been changed in some way by, like, I don't know, a mad scientist. But we don't know any mad scientists.
There's just a race in One Piece with the power to turn into birds.
Power to turn into birds, yeah.
Sounds like a line that would be in what's the band that the Game Grump is in? I don't want to go. Ninja Sex Party. It sounds like a Ninja Sex Party.
I agree that crows snap, people. Two things can be true at one time. I'm not saying birds can't snap. I just think it's interesting that they chose snap because when I think of birds, I think of clack.
All right.
Not snap, snap, snap. Anyways, when you look at them, they kind of fall in line with the thing, except for Lindbergh. It would be better if Bello Betty's color was on Lindbergh, but also kind of not, so it's okay. I just thought that was kind of interesting because, yeah, they are for the four different seas, and then they fall within the four animals. I love Bello Betty's outfit. Like, it's full drip. I do feel very uncomfortable whenever I see a chick with her boobs not holstered in any kind of way, and I don't mean a bra. I just mean, like, does she have double-sided tape holding that jacket on? Because really hard to get super excited about things and, like, swing your arms about when you're waiting for your jacket to fly off and expose your breasticles to the universe. So, yeah, that part I was just a little bit like, Belly, do you have some kind of, like, I don't know, thing holding them there, see-through things I can't see?
I mean, she's based off of the Lady Liberty painting, so she's doing what she wants. If her tits are out, she's just doing her cosplay right.
If her tits are out.
I mean, you've seen the painting. That painting is covered.
Seen it. Morley is pretty awesome in that he's falling in that same thing as our pretty boy Duval and our doctor, because he's doing that. Are you looking at me? Why are you staring at me?
It's worth noting, while not mentioned here, Morley's primary pronoun is she, her, which...
Oh, is it?
Yep. Meant to be
when
a
does
thing
it get
about
mentioned?
Like not presenting feminine, but identifying. Yeah, it's not mentioned there, but it's mentioned in the data.
Because it hasn't been mentioned yet. I'm a teacher. I would pick up on that shit. because that is a thing that we need
Apparently
to be very
it's
aware of.
easier to tell in Japanese because a lot of the speech patterns are like traditionally
Oh,
associated with
because there's
femininity and
male,
are meant to be
female,
pronouns that
yeah,
female women
pronoun.
use. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I would imagine that's true. Her riling up the audience and giving her speech, I have decided that devil fruit in particular would be so incredible in so many situations.
Oh yeah, I mean, a revolutionary is one of the best places for it, but there's imagine a football coach with that power.
I was gonna say hockey, but yeah, because I just can't believe you just said football out loud of your mouth. But yeah,
I don't know here because there's more football movies than hockey movies, and I imagine when I imagine a coach speech, I imagine a movie thing because I didn't coach sports.
yeah, I think about it as, imagine somebody like that out on the rugby pitch, or imagine somebody like that in a boardroom, or who was like the director on a major Broadway production. Like, you could literally just use the shit out of that.
Global Revolution's
Okay,
probably also a pretty useful place.
I mean, it's a little more impactful, but I just
Yeah,
cannot tell you how much I just love the idea in my head. A teacher, that's so true, cat too. I would use the crap out of it. I love the idea in my head now of it being a director. Major Broadway musical, and every morning, afternoon, and evening they just pump the shit out of their people and then they act. And then people are like, you could do other things with this, and they're like, this is my passion. I'm
you have
using it
that
in just the
power,
right way.
but your passion is for banking, so you just have really jazzed bankers.
Or if they were a manager of like a grocery store and they just like worked their employees up.
The
Would
cashiers
be
are just
so
like, how
awesome.
can I help you? And everyone's excited, like, I just want you to bring me through. Yeah, I'll get to it. What the fuck is
Thing
going
for
on
you,
here?
man. I am here to serve.
The fuck is
It would be
happening here?
incredible.
I don't.
Yeah, I'm loving this. So I like that they rile up the people, and it's kind of the same idea that Luffy has. So it's neat to see that Dragon's people within the Revolutionary Army have that same baseline as Luffy has, that we help those who help themselves. Because she said, "You did well today. Call us anytime. Wherever the weak stand up for themselves, we'll be close behind to help." And that's a Luffy trait. If you're not going to stand up for yourself, we're not going to be there and do it. We're not doing it on our own. We are not the people who come in and just rescue you. We're usually in different places, and right now we're all together. But wherever the weak stand up for themselves, that's where you'll find us.
And I
That's what
think,
we're drawn to.
and I think that's definitely a theme of this arc because we see Bello Betty, and we also see Kobe and Shirahoshi, two weak people who wanted more out of life, who Luffy inspired to fight for what they wanted.
Yeah, I agree. And although they're no longer weak, they've definitely come out of that
Yeah,
situation.
but like when he met them,
But I also wanted to
that
say
was
to
what
Bello
was going
Betty,
on.
okay, where were you when Nami's world was going down, baby?
Oh yeah, is she the East Blue person?
I think so. Let's look.
Girl, go help Nami.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
whoever the East is failed Nami for sure.
That's her. It's Bello Betty.
Hey,
So
Bello
she can't
Betty,
really say
what the
that.
fuck?
Yeah, that's kind of my feelings on that. So I just want to say, like, Bello, maybe don't promise what you can't actually deliver. And we've seen the lack of delivery.
Maybe as those people were like heading up on their way to fight Arlong, she was waiting in the sides like, I'm there, bitch, I'm there. And then she saw Johnny and Yosuke stop them, was like, pull up a second. And they were like, don't worry, there's 4 men showing up who can take care of this. And Bello was like, I'll let this play out. I'm gonna sit by, I'll let it play out. If things start to go south, I'll step in there and help the villagers.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. That's what happened.
Oh, yep, I forgot that. Yeah, it's sailed past, but someone has an explanation for it. Never mind.
What is it?
It's not a huge spoiler to just say this part. Basically, she didn't have that job 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll allow that.
Yeah. So, you know what? She probably would help now. Tsunami just had to hold out two more years if the Straw Hats didn't find her.
Oh, is that all? The Saga, the Self-Proclaimed Straw Hat Fleet number 35. Orlumbus, the Pirate's Life, 6 a.m., folding pajamas. I liked this picture so much. I like the discipline looking around his cabin. I like that he's in the Japanese pose of numb legs and folding up his pajamas into perfection. It really spoke of and the reason I liked it so much and I paused on it is he is about to quit his job, which is a big deal considering that he ends up stealing a bunch of the different ships, etc. And this picture here, prior to his actions that might seem unhinged, shows that he is a thoughtful, considered person who doesn't just do things in a chaotic, willy-nilly way. He would have thought about them. He would have rethought about them. And so if he's doing something, it's coming from a place of deep consideration. And because he's clearly a very methodical person who has a lot of self-discipline. And so when I saw this picture, for me, I was like, that is the perfect picture to start his little side arc that we're going to see with him leaving, because it's obvious right away that's what we're going to see, because it so articulates that he isn't just doing this on a whim, and he didn't just get caught up in Luffy's bravado. Because the thing about Bello Betty is she's a momentary bravado that gets people to fight for themselves, and then she leaves, that bravado leaves, and they're going to have to find their own. Whereas the thing about Luffy is his leadership and the charisma that he has pulled them in long term. Old Jim came back and said, thank you, Zurich, for your subscription. Old Jim came back and said, like, yeah, I absolutely am going to be part of your crew, and then came back and lived up to his promises. And here with Orlambus, we see somebody who was inside of the time that we had at Dressrosa, and then here he is going back and quitting properly, and then going back out onto the water to be part of Luffy's crew. And I thought that was fantastic because it shows the longevity of Luffy's reach as a leader.
Like that. That's a good observation.
Well, I don't know how else you would do it, right? Like if you're thinking as Oda, how do you articulate the power of Luffy's leadership and Luffy's draw? Well, you could do it with people with all sorts of bravado and fighting, but that doesn't do it because that's still loud. You're still pumped up. You're full of adrenaline. You're running into the world. You're part of the excitement, and you're caught up in a whirlwind. This person here shows a person who is not caught up in anything. They're just quietly sitting with themselves and thinking about the next few days and what they're going to be doing, and they feel purposeful. So I think, like, as far as phenomenal writing goes, to say a lot with very little, this picture is worth more than 1,000 words. And I was really impressed with it.
And I don't think what I'm about to say is not at all what it is, but I've always just read this whole bit as like, oh, it's funny that we're showing around the world the Straw Hat Grand Fleet captains, and the joke is this guy's boring. And I think that is the bit. But there is more to it than that. I think you're right, that a lot of it is highlighting that it isn't just a bunch of disorderly kids who are following Luffy's motivation. It's also this very disciplined person. I like that. That adds a lot of value to it.
And that it's more than hype, I think, is really important, because hype is something that can wear off. And what we're seeing there isn't hype. So I think that was really, really cool. I liked seeing that we moved the New Marine Ford to the other side of the red line. I think that is pretty cool, because it also articulates like that they have that easy of a job of moving back and forth across the red line. To them, it is nothing, right? So it articulates that making a choice to be on one side of the red line or the other, no big deal. MBD, we can be wherever the hell we want. We move with impunity. So deciding to build the new Marine Ford on the other side and making the old Marine Ford the G1 base isn't that big of a deal. And I think that that's a pretty cool way of showing their power of mobility over everybody else on the world. I really like that.
So people are saying they like where the drawing's going. The delete your art was definitely very helpful today, because this is a way cooler composition.
A way cooler composition. Coolness unlocked.
All right. Should we roll?
Should we roll? Do you think I haven't been rolling this whole time? I'm nothing but roll.
There's a lot of roll to today.
Let me just say one thing.
You've said it.
Yeah. No one else knows what it means.
Let's move.
Okay. I told him he wasn't to step into any military base until he brought me Straw Hat Luffy. What does that boy think he's doing slinking back here? Yes, sir, I'm well aware of that. Well, sir, he was armed with infallible rhetorical weapons. We had no argument against him. I think that was one of my favorite lines of all times. If you ask me, that doesn't count as military grounds. Split hairs! That's not rhetoric! It's a brain teaser! It was so good. I'm sorry. I love semantic ambiguity, so I'm here with him. I was like, well done. Split those hairs. You know how I love that. I like seeing how
semantics.
Pardon me?
You're a big fan of semantics.
I love me some semantics. I think the design they created to move people up and down the red line just proved our point that the red line being in a perfect shape that it is, clearly having been under the ocean at one time, the way that it shows the sides of the cliffs, etc., is kind of like a dead giveaway that it used to be underwater and that it was literally split from the earth asunder and pushed up. I think these images that we've seen of the red line for the first time really show that it's kind of like a perfect cut on both sides and a lift. It just feels like a dead giveaway, in my opinion. Okay. So I think we are going to find out that underneath the red line is a perfect puzzle piece slot where it can just slide back down into to create the all blue.
Interesting.
I think, honestly, that's how it felt. And so I was like, all that looks like is a puzzle piece, and it looks like you can go and push her back down under again.
I just briefly need to talk about a great bit that chat just had, which is time to cancel Drock for being anti-Semantic.
Oh, what's that about?
It's just a joke.
Anti-Semantic.
Yeah.
Chat. Thank you so much.
Good. That's a great bit.
I love the bubble cars that they take to move them up and down too. Those are really cool. I still feel very uncomfortable about the matrio chesses. I want the princesses to fit into each other like proper Russian dolls, proper Russian nesting dolls. Their existence as weird round things and everyone thinking they're so cute was very uncomfortable for me. Where are their legs? Are we going to see legs? Is this the only time I'm going to see them?
Yeah, I think that's the only time you're going to see them. I think they are just there to fill space.
I am so uncomfortable with their existence. I can't even tell you. I've gone back to that picture 3 times now to be like, do they have legs? Are they walking or waddling?
Good Lord.
What is going on? They make me uncomfortable.
I mean, it could be.
I'm wondering if the reason dragons wear bubbles on their head has to do with the possibility that it used to be underwater, like some sort of cultural remnant, because the red line was down under the marines. Maybe. It's an interesting thought too, isn't it? Let's keep that in the back of the mind. I like how everyone reacted to Wimpy Hoshi. They should. Bow down to Wimpy Hoshi, bitches. Bow down. Garp is very unaffected by women, though, hey? He's just like, meh. Whatever.
It's interesting, unaffected to an extent, but he's also like, yeah, of course you're very beautiful. Like, just says it like a fact. Like, yeah, I'm aware, you're incredible. But also,
I just mean that he's not running around being like, oh, let me lust after you. Kind of like very Luffy-ish about
Luffy, but
sex
Luffy
and sexuality.
Also is kind of incapable of telling who's hot, it feels like, whereas Garb's like, yeah, you're beautiful. And that's it.
I just don't think Luffy cares.
Fair.
He just cares about your value as a human.
It's something Luffy-esque, but it's not. It feels not the exact same.
It's the same and different. I have to admit that I want to give. I don't know. I don't know if it's a. Yeah, maybe. No, never mind.
Maybe no. Yeah.
I was trying to decide if I was gonna like say that I deserved a mushroom for something.
Oh, what is it?
But I don't know if I made it a prediction or not. Kaito will know.
Okay. What was your prediction, maybe?
I bet you when we go through the thing, we're going to find out all sorts of mushrooms and stars. We're going to be like, that existed.
Find a bunch that we missed, for sure, when we do this. Because they found a bunch we've missed. But I love the idea of going through that spreadsheet for a stream when you're caught up. I think that's great.
I think that's going to be so much fun.
It's not even a Patreon stream. That's just like our first catching up stream.
The photographer who always screams fire as their quote says, she's beyond what the stories say. Should we run a special on her, boss? And is taking a picture of the unfathomable beauty of Wimpy Hoshi. And he was also the person who worked for the government. If you look at Jimmy Scoops inside of the SBS, we see that he worked for the government as a young lad and that he got fired for always having the lens cap on his camera.
Oh, yeah, you did make it a prediction that there was a special magical reason Sanji couldn't be photographed, I'm pretty sure.
Did
you do get a mushroom here.
Okay, well then I get a mushroom for that. And now the reason that he has been hired by the paper is they bought him a camera. See, I didn't know if I made it a prediction or not. I couldn't remember if I just said like maybe it'll be a special thing, blah blah blah, or if it's so that's why I didn't know. But then they said they bought him a camera without a lens, or a lens cap, so they didn't have to worry about it anymore.
Great.
Yeah, I thought that was amazing. I also think it's amazing that they made President Morgan's Twitter-pated and that he just was like, that's right, I'm going to use the word Twitter-pated, Disney. You don't own the word Twitter-pated. I was like, I see you, Oda, and I approve of that.
I wonder what the Japanese word that got turned into Twitter-pated is.
I wonder if it's just Twitter-pated.
Say?
I hope so, because that Twitter-pated is like a word that I say all the time because I love it. I'm like, oh, spring is here. Time for all the Twitter-pation. But see, yeah, because Garp does notice, and with all the look she got, I'd say she'd even passes that bar. So Garp is saying, like, yeah, she's definitely hotter. Garp out here just saying shit like, let me think. I'll be brief, Garp, blah, 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 blah. You want to be one of those scumbags when the ugly stepbrother is talking about the dragons, and he's like, oh my god, you could be put to death. And then Garp's like, oh, right, it's a no-no. Yeah, forget I said that.
So this is, when I've said in the past that Garp was a character who for me didn't start in my top 5 and has become more and more a top 5 character for me, this is the type of shit that makes him a top 5 now, is him being like, those fuckers suck, you're a dumb bitch.
Why would you want to be one of those pieces of shit? Like that was some wildness. Even I felt uncomfortable, and I was like, Garp, I know that you're fictional. I'm uncomfortable with you saying that. And Garp is like, suck toads.
No, I love that shit from Garp.
It's also good that whenever Stelly gets put down, I'm happy because Stelly is so disgusting and gross and icky. And then he puts down the fish people, and honestly, more bad things should happen to him. Is all I'm saying is, if more bad things could happen to him, it would be a better world.
Dude, Stelly in the elevator with Sabo, I was like, Stelly, are you about to die?
This has actually no predictions about Sanji being able to take the photo, but Mama did predict Sanji being part demon or part dragon, which is why he could set himself on fire.
I genuinely think we can't confirm that as a purple mushroom yet.
Okay. I genuinely think we can't either. I'm still standing behind my shit there. Okay, because, well then I don't get a mushroom.
Like, while we know he's Judge's son, I think we hold off on that one because we don't know what genetic shit Judge did to his children. And Mama and I both agree that the fact that one of the brothers can use lightning powers means that the fire powers might be something Judge did, and we don't know. We have no idea what he jammed in those kids genetically. So I think we need to wait and see, because like maybe the fire powers are just the heat of his passion. Maybe they are Judge's modifications. And if they are Judge's modifications, did they come from dragon or demon DNA? We'll find out.
This is the other two. When Katu says Mama did predict Sanji came from poor background, then I also predicted that he was a prince of something.
Yeah.
Because I was like, maybe he's real. So then do those cancel each other out? These are the things I started to think about. Once you start making this many predictions, do some of them cancel? Do you give me a mushroom and then a star?
What we've done in the past is we've just accepted that, yeah, when you make conflicting ones, you just get both.
Yeah, okay. I'm comfortable with that. I don't give a crap. All right, here we go. When she goes up here and she says, and by she, I mean Wimpy Hoshi. Yeah. What is it, Shirahoshi? Father, it's the sun. Brothers, see how bright and warm it shines. There is no limit to the sky above, and there is no limit to the sea beyond, glittering in the sunlight. It sure is a pretty sight, Mambo. I never knew the surface would be this wonderful. And then she says, What a beautiful world. Father, if it can come true, I would like to live on the surface. I want everyone in our kingdom in this world of the sun. And then later she says, where did it go? I want to live under the power of the sun. And I was like, do you now? And would that power of the sun be Luffy?
Look, you don't know nothing.
But I do know.
You ain't know nothing.
I know everything.
You ain't know nothing about no thing.
I know everything about everything. The Holy Land, Mariejois. Sakazuki says he wants me to find you and kick you out. Shall we do battle then? Oh, no, I'd rather not. Besides, you're not going to destroy this meeting, are you? I might be crashing the meeting, but it's the system I actually mean to destroy. That was mighty tasty, much obliged. You came a long way for this. How's old Vegapunk doing? Well, you may not be able to see it, but he's got quite the creation on his hand. There's no longer any need for the 7 warlords of the sea.
What do you think Vegapunk done made that fully replaces the 7 warlords?
So, at first I asked myself, is the thing that he made just Kuma, and that Kuma can take over Kuma replicated Kuma's Kuma could take over as the 7 warlords of the sea's responsibilities? And then I was like, we don't have enough information actually about what the 7 warlords of the sea are bringing is the problem.
Yeah. My leaning when I read this is that it has to be something new, just because like Pacifista are powerful against weak pirates, but we've seen the Straw Hats, who aren't the most, at the beginning of New World, the Straw Hats aren't one of the top 10 crews around, and they just smashed them.
So I had that, and then I started to think it needs to be something more specific, because we have specifically the number 7 feels like it is engaged in almost like, I don't want to say a spiritual or ritual, but kind of a ritual thing, right? Like there's something that has to be invented to hold the spot ritually. Then when I met Emu, who P.S. Damn, Emu.
What a reveal.
That's a freaky bastard. Then when I met Emu, I was like, ritualism seems to be really strong in this Emu land, and it seems like this dark bastard, it needs to keep something very specific going in order to hold this world together. Do you know what I mean?
Interesting.
And so if he is holding some ritualistic thing together in some way to keep this world going, then that would be the thing that would be able to be replaced by Vegapunk. And I think it's...
Do you think it's
when you have
something?
Yeah. And I was like, okay, you've got the 4 oceans and directions. You have a 5th element in the center, but that's only 5. How are we using the 7 warlords?
I like these ideas. I think the direction here is very fun.
Yeah.
Whether accurate or not.
Yeah, I have to come back to that. And we're coming back into Emu and shit in a minute, so it's fine. But there's something ritualistic holding things together. My question is, does Vegapunk want it held together?
Does Vegapunk know about that part? Does Fujitora? Because Fujitora, at the very least, would think that he just needs military power, you'd figure. Like, he wouldn't know about all this spooky shit and would probably just be like, it's got to be something strong enough.
Exactly. And so that's what I wondered. Like, how much information does Vegapunk have? Well, if Vegapunk is secretly on the side of Kuma, then Vegapunk, if I'm correct about that, then is Vegapunk secretly on the side of Revolution? And then would Vegapunk know?
And then Kaito brings up what happens to the 7 warlords if they do get abolished as an order.
Yeah, because they don't just F off. They're not going to be like, oh, you don't want us anymore? Our bad, bye. Like, that is not what is going to happen.
The world government has suddenly made enemies of a lot of the world's most powerful people. So whatever it is,
then later
has
on,
to not only be enough to replace them, but enough that the world government isn't afraid of them as enemies.
Yeah, but later on, they talk, the elders talk about how it's time to have a great cleansing of the world. So is what
which
happens their deaths.
could be.
Well, if that's what they want to
But
happen.
that means whatever's replacing them has to be enough that they're sure they can kill all 7 of them. And
oh my God, this person said 7 colors of the rainbow, and I don't know where they are, but I now wonder whether or not each of the 7 warlords is representative of a specific color of haki almost.
Okay, this one's not a joke. I'm anti 7 colors of the rainbow. There's only 6 colors, bitch. Fight me.
You don't believe in ultraviolets because you can't see them?
Well, no. It's that indigo was genuinely only added to make the system appeal to royalty so that they'd push for Roy G. Biv to be accepted as the sorting of it.
That's not how I see it. I see indigo as being in the color spectrum that we can't see easy.
No. Indigo is between violet and blue. It's
I'm talking about purple. Ultraviolet.
You're talking about ultraviolet. Indigo was added to sell it to royalty. Like, doesn't anyone find it weird at all that there's no other color that's between a primary and secondary color in the entire rainbow? That, like,
you're not wrong.
Yeah, purple's a secondary color, blue is a primary color, and then the area between them is for some reason in the rainbow when, like, tangerine, lime, scarlet, cyan, none of those are, and for some reason indigo's the only one. It shouldn't be in there. Get it fucking out. 6 color rainbow.
A, let's put in ultraviolet and infrared. B, when you look at the rainbow up in the sky, you can see all sorts of shades if you get a good enough rainbow in between too.
Calum, orange is not a tertiary color. Orange is a secondary color. It's a mix of 2 primary colors.
Yeah. Yellow and red make orange.
Why am I'm not opposed to more colors. I'm opposed to more colors in this one system, in this one little palette. But also, the primary colors are fake. Those aren't the real primary colors. CMYK for life.
Good God. This person just said CMYK rainbow at the same time as you.
Yeah. The CMYK rainbows, what we probably should use, because blue, red, and yellow are not the primary colors. They are just the only primary colors it used to be technologically feasible to make pigment for. So they were the closest we could get. I want to move on
because this is a person I've been wondering.
I've
never met Green Bull.
No, Ryukugyu is new to you.
Where did this bastard come from, and what do they mean? He's just an admirable Green Bull.
He's one of the new admirals because they lost.
Have I ever met him?
Nope.
He's brand spanking new?
Yep, this is a new boy.
Well, I don't even know how to feel about that.
Guys, I'm not... Guys, I don't have to hand in anything. I'm not anti-color. I'm anti a 7th color in the rainbow that breaks the rules. That's not allowed. I love indigo as a color. It doesn't get to be in the rainbow. Anyways, back to Green Bull.
Sweet Jesus, people, move on. I don't want him to talk about this all day, and you know he will.
I will.
I feel like I've met Green Bull before.
He's been mentioned briefly. Yeah, they mentioned him in Dressrosa. He is one of the new admirals that brought on board alongside Fujitora when they did the conscription program and conscripted.
But I've never heard of him before when he wasn't an admiral, and he was just I'm very uncomfortable with him.
He's got a vibe about him, huh? Now, this is
Wait, I want to read this part because this is very interesting. He says to him, "Are you still in the middle of your fast?" Well, if a pretty lady asked me to open wide, I suppose I'd chow down. And that's why I haven't had a bite for 3 darn years. I hope it's not Wimpy Hoshi that he's going to get all obsessed with and she's going to offer him to something to eat. You know why? She's 16. She's already had someone obsessing about her since she was a baby. That would make me vomit. I'd be like, no, just let her be a child, please. Please. Just let her be a child.
This was a debate in the fan base at this point. Do you think he's going to be a bad guy admiral like Akainu and / Sakazuki? Do you think he's going to be a good guy admiral like Fujitora / some people say Aokiji? Or do you think he's going to be somewhere in between like Kuzan? Or sorry, Kizaru, the light admiral, Borsellino?
I don't...
What's your inclination? Because this was a debate people had if he was going to be a good guy admiral, a bad guy, or one of the ones where it's kind of like this is just a job.
Why is Celio saying I have seen him before? Who wears green with a loud laugh, drinks green, bull flag, and we've met before, Mama?
I don't remember anyone like.
Give Bellamy a treat.
I can give him a treat. He will do so. Oh boy, why are you sleeping over there on the ground?
You think it's Yorkie?
Oh my god. No. No.
You think Green Bull is Yorkie?
No, it's not Yorkie. Guys. Guys, we can't. Everyone can't be Yorkie. Not a thing. It was a popular but silly theory. Fair enough.
How old is this person? So I'm looking at somebody who's quite old.
You're looking at a silhouette.
No,
Yes,
I know I'm looking at a silhouette.
For Green Bull? I mean, it's a silhouette. You don't really see a proper dude at this early.
No, but if they're talking about him being Yorkie, then this person must be older.
They're saying it just because there was theories about it being Yorkie at this point. I forgot about them, but a lot of people were like, Green Bull is clearly Yorkie.
Could be Yorkie's son. That would make more sense. Pet the boy.
Pet the boy now. We get so much.
Because also this person is looking for a pretty lady. Thank you for subscribing, a dog. A dog.
Yeah, must be Geen. It's Geen, back from the dead.
I think it's really strange that they're asking Koala if she feels uncomfortable that they're fighting for the same people as fishmen. Like, I think it's really strange. It's the celestial dragons who control it. Da, 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 da. I'm like, yeah, no. Koala by now couldn't be in the Revolutionary Army and still have any kind of hatred for the fishmen. That doesn't make
Yeah, I mean, she very clearly doesn't hate them. She's the only human to learn fishman karate.
I was so excited, though, to see our boy Sabo going up in the elevator and saying, please be at ease, King Stelly. You know what, King Stelly? I think you're about to get your comeuppance, and I'm so here for it. When you get your comeuppance, King Stelly, I'm going to hold a mini parade. It's going to be me, my 2 dogs, and Papa Drock. I'll hold a cat, he'll hold a cat, and we're parading.
What if King Stelly at the end of the series just gets a redemption and becomes a good guy and learns his lesson?
I don't want that.
Well, I mean, it's better for society if people learn their lesson.
I agree. Not him.
Not him. He should not get to learn a lesson.
He should get to learn no lessons. He should get really comeuppance. He should get the comeuppance. Everyone here wants him to get the comeuppance. And the comeuppance shall come up. And are these 2 stairways that each have 1, 2, 3, 4 seem to each have 5 statues in them on the 2 things? Are each of these statues representations of the founding people who created the
5 of them? Would it be the Elder Stars? Because there's 20 kingdoms that founded.
No, there's 5 on each side of the stairway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on each side of the stairway, and there's 2 stairways, so it would be 20.
Oh, so it is the founders. Yeah, I heard 5 and was like, that's the elders. But no,
I think it's the founders of the New World. Yeah. Which I thought was a interesting way to start. Prior to coming up here, you have to see the founders. Oh my god! Alabasta's original family being one of the 20, and they decided to stay down on Earth.
It means that Vivi's technically a celestial dragon, kind of.
Not even kind of, she just is. And on top of that, the down on Earth, or down below, they said, also points to the red line being a made thing that happened at the beginning of the 800 years. Because they say they decided to stay down below, which would, in the lower realm, which would say that it's a constructed or thing that was moved up.
Makes sense.
I agree. I was very happy with that. I was like, I'm here for that. Okay, everyone who was the underground moving sidewalk with the slaves underneath, it was so gross.
Yeah. Oh, wow, the sidewalk moves. That's incredible. What technology?
Oh my god, this is so modern. Oh, just a minute. There's people. It's so gross. I was so happy that they got off the sidewalk. This was the point where everybody was meeting her and she upset people because they were like, oh, look at my son. By the way, the one son looked so much like a host of a game show that it was almost insane. I was like, oh my god, I think I know that host. I think I remember him hosting. And they're trying to get everybody. Oh, we're in an ad?
We're in an ad.
If it's
I think
ad
this is
time, it's
fine ad
ad
combo.
time.
I think
The
talking about a
squirrels
game
don't.
show host is not the worst ad combo.
This one in particular kind of looks like Pat Sajak,
Huh.
the Wheel of Fortune host.
Obviously,
So I
I
was
can't
like,
be looking at it right now, so I don't know, but okay.
Wheel of Fortune. On this series of Wheel of Fortune, you're going to name that item. I think the phrase is, marry me, Wimpy Hoshi.
Did you know that there is a magic card called Wheel of Fortune that's very expensive because it's old, and then they tried to make a less powerful version called Wheel of Misfortune that could be printed more, and everyone hates it because it's the most irritating card to ever be designed. Everyone needs to secretly bid life to lose as it's played and then reveal their secret bids. It's so complicated.
This isn't time for boob piece. Why would we? What is boob piece? Why would we do that?
Boob piece is when you get obsessed about tit size in One Piece for a while and we go on a tirade.
Do people talk about it as boob piece?
Have you not noticed this is a trend lately that every time we mention tits in One Piece, there's a lot of comments in the chat about this?
Yes. But
hell yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
some kind of Sam having a Wheel of Fortune. That's fucking rad.
I am not against boobs. I think boobs are great.
Yeah, boobs are great.
I like boobs. I think they're one of the best things on humans. I'm just against people trying to live a life with their tits flapping about. And I would like it if sometimes people got to have different sized boobies. Because there was even an SBS in here that said where a girl was so excited. And she was like, "Oh my God, did you make this? Is this a girl, this character? Because she has such small boobs, and it makes me feel like I'm part of the story too." And then he said, "No, that's a boy. We're trying to make my boys into girls. You'll just have to deal with it. My girl characters are big-breasted, and you shouldn't make them feel bad for that." And I was like, dude, talk about representation. As a person who is Japanese and who's probably watched a ton of shows that come out of the United States, I think you would understand what representation makes you feel like.
Probably.
So this girl was like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited." So like, give some girls some smaller boobies. I mean,
yeah, Perona has smaller boobs than most One Piece characters, and then there's Otohime, and that's it.
Are you kidding me? With Perona has small boobs. Those aren't small.
No. I said smaller than most One Piece characters.
Yeah, I'm not even. And people get all pressed at me about things like this. I'm not a small boob person, people. I just think small boobs should be out there for people. That's all I'm saying. People are like, women can't have big boobs, and I'm like, dude, I'm a person. I know they can. That's not my point.
I also stand by that big boobs feel meaningless when there's no small boobs to compare them against. Like you've watered down the boob market. Even if you want to just be horny for your drawings, you're making the big boobs less valuable by not having small boobs.
Everyone. Also, having small boobs in One Piece now, that chick would be like, she would look lithe and like athletic and raw. All boobs matter. That's what I'm saying. Allow people to have different boob sizes. Good God. Why do we always end up talking about fucking breasts?
Well, some chat brought it up. You know what? No, I misremembered a character design. Never mind, I'm wrong.
Okay. Thank you for leaning back. When Shirahoshi makes her little thing and she fumbles and then she gets saved and gets to talk to Rebecca and Vivian Carew about Luffy and feels like she belongs there, and she's just feeling like, you know what I mean? Like she's just starting to feel like she's making friends. She's found her tribe. She's fitting in, and she's so excited. And we get a little flashback, and they're like, "Oh my God, are you talking about Sir Luffy just now?" And they have this amazing little talk. "I owe him and his companions a great debt." Ditto! And it was just this whole great moment, and I loved it. I mean, Wapol did show up, and he was, I don't know. You know when you burp and it tastes like rotten egg? That's Wapol.
All right. Okay, yeah.
And beside
Okay.
that, I want to just say I'm putting that out there. That's how I think. Every time I see Wapol's face and he talks, I just think of like rotten egg burps, and I'm like, that's who you are, baby.
Okay, yeah.
Also, they may call this chick having the dig fruit, the I don't know if they want her to be Kinderella or which would be like child Cinderella, and child Cinderella was already very young, or if it's Kinderella. I don't care. All I'm saying is when they're like, she's a gold digger, gold dig, dig, dig. I'm like, good. That is the wife Wapple the rotten egg burp deserves. If anything, she's not getting enough money out of it. I feel she is a gold digger who is not getting enough from this relationship.
I mean, he is like a man who became so wealthy by inventing a new metal by accident that he bought a kingdom.
He's a rotten egg burp. The fact that she has to hang out with him and pretend to like him, he should have to pay her for that. He should have to pay his friends for being in a room with him. He should have to pay his wife for hanging out with him. He should have to pay his dogs and cats for being his pets. Everyone in his world should get paid for being in his world.
But Mama Drock, how are we going to get the fused straw hats without Wapple?
Don't make me burp rotten eggs.
You want the fused straw hats?
Yeah, I want them to fuse on their own. I don't want them to be eaten by a rotten egg burp.
How else are we going to get it?
We're going to get it in an interesting way.
We're going to get
and
it.
And it's not going to be through Wapple, the Opple.
You know that Wapple's how we get it. It's a fruit that confuse people.
Listen, that's not happening. Also, Wapple, you skipped one too many leg day, my boy. Go out and do a press or a squat. He makes me upset. But you know what's really good is that Dalton puts him in his place in such a delicious way where he's talking and he's going off, go off with your bad smelled self. And he's like, what does a servant like you get off telling me? And he goes, we are on equal footing now. And I imagine that's how it sounds because Dalton does turn into a bit of a bull. And then he goes, you're growing into your king role too, Dalton. And then this is beautiful because he goes off all about how it's impossible to run a squeaky clean country and da-da-da-da-da, and he's going on. And instead of even like having a conversation, thank you, it's the American bison. Instead of that, he just turns around and goes, did you read the article about Luffy to the people? Which is fantastic because Dalton is in the background, or Wapple is in the background still going, I will have my revenge. And his words are being cut out because he's just like, I don't give a shit about you, bro. Your words and your smell, too much for me.
I'm going to go talk about the guy who kicked your ass.
Yeah. I need you to remember, I'm better than you.
I wish Wapple could understand the narrative of One Piece and that you do realize for you to be a threat, Luffy needed to be on death's door and all of the Straw Hats needed to be incapacitated or non-present.
Yeah,
like Luffy had to climb a mountain for like a straight day, barely covered with his bare hands and no climbing equipment to be weak enough for you to be slightly threatening.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what needs to happen is Wapple needs to put his feet in his mouth and then just keep pushing backwards until he eats his own ass, turns inside out, and then maybe if he was inside out, he'd be a better person.
Luffy showed up to fight Crocodile and was in peak condition and lost twice. Come on, Wapple.
Yeah.
You gotta recognize how meaningless you are.
Yeah, you ain't nothing.
Couple drip, though.
Are they claiming that Wapple has drip?
He has good taste in boats. That's what we've given him in the past.
Wapple?
Yeah, because he has a cool submarine.
That is true. He does have a cool submarine. I'm going to stay on that one. That is for sure okay.
That was our first submarine that we saw in the series, and it's pretty cool.
I just want to say something, so I'm going to look at this.
First time chat to say Luffy goes into Gear Second pose as a joke and Wapple dies. True. That's what it takes. That's all it takes.
Just so everybody knows, whenever I see the gold digger and in my head, the she takes your money part comes off, I always remind myself that actually comes from a song by Ray Charles called I Got a Woman. And it's, I got a woman way over town who's good to me. She gives me money when I'm in need. Yeah.
Oh, so that gold digger was an inversion of like a nice song.
Yeah, it stole a whole ass song about a woman who is taking care of him and helping him to succeed in his dreams of being a singer, and who works and supports him, and how grateful he is for her. And instead they turned it into a bitch ass piece about women being gold diggers. So whatever. What's up? That's what's up. Okay. This is why it made me so sad, because my sweet, sweet little kids are there, and then they go, "Excuse me, Dalton, do you like Lucy? We bet you like Luffy Land. He's the best. This is going to be so fun." It's not just a parody; it's a comment on women being gold diggers. There was a reason it was made.
It's kind of a parody, but it's a parody that has supplanted the original in pop culture, which I think is worth thinking about.
Whoa, it's like, your Hogwarts house? Where the hell did this come from?
What? What? You know what? Funny though. It's a good point.
You know what I really like is how many people were like, "I'm Hufflepuff."
A lot of people honest out there. A lot of people honest with me.
I love that.
I don't like seeing the results. Y'all fucking nerds, mostly Ravenclaws, those who are answering. Look, whether you like Harry Potter or not, I think it says something about someone which of these traits they associate with themselves the most, and the fact that far more of our audience is associating themselves with being a nerd than anything else is fun. I think that's fun.
I think it's all hilarious because recently my daughter has decided she's turned into a Hufflepuff.
Shouldn't Vivi be in the drawing? You're so correct, but I couldn't find that panel, so it's just these three. Maybe Vivi should be down here for the sake of the composition. Would that help?
In the bottom right-hand corner?
Maybe. Let's find out if we should.
The person who is my principal has the full outfit of Slytherin, full cape, tie, under jacket, pants, the full thing, and he wears it on certain days at the school. And when you meet him, all you would think to yourself is Hufflepuff. He gets a little annoyed when you say that because he doesn't have the capability to be really angry. But it's a reminder that you don't get to base somebody's house based upon the things that you see in the outside world. We don't know what's in his head. Maybe he is full damn ass Slytherin.
Maybe.
Okay. This is the gold star I got because little Mr. Pissy Webs is in the basement. I like that they chained him fully down. And we're like, we're going to put these around your waist. We're going to put these around your arms. We're going to lock you here. And then he says, to make sure I don't go spilling the secrets of Mariejois' hidden treasure.
Oopsie, I got the secrets.
Secrets. Mariejois. I never really noticed because I always say it is Mariejois. I've never even noticed that it's two names and that it's a person's name, Mary and Joie.
I mean,
so is that a person?
Isn't joie like a specific word?
I don't know.
I thought they both are words. I thought it means something.
Time to put that in.
I'll look it up and Googling.
It gives me money.
Fuck, joie is a name. Marie
and
and joie are both names. Never mind.
Because joie de vivre would be the joy of life.
Yeah, no,
so I wondered if
joie would be a person's name in French.
Yeah. So that's why. Are they trying to say it's more like a play on the idea of joie de vivre, or a person who is both merry, as in happy, and joie, full of life, like happy life?
I couldn't begin to say.
I just think it's interesting because, pet the boy, merry is also something that we would talk about as being happy. Anyway, a hired killer to silence me for good. Just let the secret out. Power has such a short shelf life. It goes bad very quickly. I gotta tell you, I hate you, but I love you, Don Quixote.
Yeah, that's the normal reaction.
You are so fun to despise, and I kind of like you, and a little part of me, and I mean like really little, kind of wants to date you. Yeah. But not in this lifetime. Okay, when he says that, and then we see this god dang straw hat, which is huge to the max with Emu, so we obviously know the gross demon, Mama, no! But then Big says, yeah, that's a common reaction. I feel
The
you.
fuck just happened?
No
I'm gonna need
psychopath
to close and reopen this drawing because my second screen is disconnected. Let's see if I can fix this actually. Whoops.
I'm not gonna lie. I think that is a normal reaction to him. There's something about him that's very attractive, but at the same time, you really hate him.
He's very
And,
dislikable in a lot of ways.
But it's also attractive. There's just, it's the strength of his beliefs and the cockiness. You're just like, you're the worst. You're so gross. But also, you're kind of hot.
Oh, this is our first May drawing. I have to make a May folder.
I know he would smell wild. I have opened up Pandora's box.
Okay, good.
I'm not going to lie, Druck.
Uh-huh.
I've opened up more than I counted on.
By saying that Dofi is hot? Yeah.
Everyone. I hate him. I love to hate him. He's kind of hot.
Yeah.
I know he would smell wild. He's evil hot. There's some other stuff I'm not saying out loud.
He would wear a very specific cologne, like a cologne that no normal man wears.
Him. Yeah. And if you walked into a room and smelt that, you'd be like, oh shit.
Oh shit, it's fucking Dofi's here. Like, he wears such a specific scent. It's like fucking cinnamons and pine cone or something, and it's strong as fuck.
He'd still have sandalwood in it. Don't be ridiculous. Men have to have sandalwood in it.
I don't think he does. I don't think he needs to. I think he's fine. I think he doesn't want it. I think he doesn't want to smell like a normal man is the thing.
Korra is hot, but Korra doesn't have that I'm a terrible human quality to him, you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look,
he's his own thing.
I fully understand. How attracted I am to terrible women is one of my worst traits.
Okay, good. I feel good about that. Yeah. Okay, so when we meet Emu, and Emu goes through all of this shit that looks like it's way higher up in the clouds and it's frozen and it almost looks like there's cloud or ice stuck to the building, and then goes inside to where the goddamn straw hat is. So that's obviously the thing that Dofi is talking about. They don't just...
The reading I prefer is that Emu himself is the treasure.
I don't know. Like, I thought about him, Febreze. I thought about him in that way earlier, but I feel like it's a combo.
It could be. There are things like that.
Because he goes in there specifically to stare at this giant ass straw hat. Do we know what the hat is made out of?
Probably straw.
Is it? No.
It looks like straw.
It's not straw.
But that would explain why it's in cold storage, so that it doesn't rot.
I mean, yeah, but...
Because it's got frost on it.
No. Because if it was straw, you wouldn't allow that to happen, because when it melted, it would do massive damage.
So just so you know something about this hat, by the way, people have done some basic measurements based off of how it compares in size to Emu and how he compares
Emu's a big bastard, right?
The empty throne. And their estimate is it's too small for a giant, but about the right size for someone the size of like Kaido, Big Mom, Kuma, like Moria.
Or Wimpy Hoshi?
I think she's too big because she's giant sized.
Luffy in his big size?
Gear 4th is Gear 4th Luffy, where he's all ballooned up, is about Katakuri height almost, but his head is about the same size, so I don't think Luffy could wear it in Gear 4th. Yeah, I've seen people... I've said Gear 5th by accident like 5 times, guys, when talking about anything. It's easy to say the wrong number.
That is a lid. Oh, that's a tomb. We're in a tomb.
It's pretty easy
to
just say 5 instead of 4.
So that hat belongs to a person. It's a lid, it's a tomb, there's drawings on the outside of it, carvings on the outside of it as something. I wish I could see more of it, but they've covered too many of them up. But it's definitely a tomb.
Oh, that makes sense.
So the person who wore that hat is inside of it.
So my theory, since I saw it, originally, immediately, my thought is that's Joy Boy's hat. That's what came to my mind. And if people are saying it's a tomb, that's Joy Boy's tomb, is my guess.
Interesting. Because it definitely looks like a tomb.
Because I have truly always been like, yeah, that's Joy Boy's hat. That was my immediate thought when I saw it, and I am convinced on
Well, yeah, because given the what they call them, etc.
Oh.
But it also looks like it's rounded. So tombs aren't generally rounded. and it
Kaito,
looks
before
like
you
the back-
showed up, Red Potato removed it. Ask permission.
Yeah, we're gonna need to look at that later because it does seem to be in a moon shape, a half moon shape, with the hat sitting over top. But having it be on top of a tomb would make sense, in my opinion, even though it's in a half moon shape, because that's where you would put it, right? Like it's weird otherwise. And so this person, FMB.
Yeah. It's so much to think about. I love this bit because, God, this is confusing.
I'm wondering whether or not Kaido and Big Mom dated. I just feel like they had to.
Big Mom is like 10 years older than Kaido or something around there, so like they're contemporaries, but like there is an
She
age
says,
gap.
"Come on, let's just get along like old times." Like, doesn't that feel like we dated?
They definitely knew each other well.
It feels like it. Yeah, he calls her an old hag, but like, I'm married. You call your person things. We say things all the time. You just say things. Let's get along like we used to. I could say that in a bunch of different ways and it would work. But it kind of feels a little datey. Let's see what our yellow monkey is up to. He's into being a little spaz. And they're talking about whether or not, okay, they were speaking on a call right out in the open, so they don't even care about being overheard, says the Marines. A challenge to stop us if you can, perhaps? What sort of force would we need to stop them? Admirals? Warlords of the sea? Shall I head out, Suzuki? No, Boris Lino.
Can we just say, that man has some fucking confidence to ask that question?
Because this is what I was just about to say when I finished the other dude's talk. They say, what sort of a force would we need to stop them? Admirals? Warlords of the sea? Shall I head out all on my own?
But I can do it. You want me to do it? I got this.
I'm pretty strong. I'll just why don't I just head out there and take a gander at it?
I could probably handle it.
Remember, there's an unknown military force in Wano. The samurai, you mean? So, how strong is shit in Wano that we're talking about all of this going down, and the guy is like, just hold your horses, Boris Lino. We do have the unknown military force in Wano.
Yeah, but the thing is, the unknown military force, it's unknown, so it could be strong, but we do know that Kinemon is like not quite Zoro level, but a very, very competent swordsman. Like, it takes a lot to outmatch him as far as we've seen, and he's just a guy from Wano. So clearly there's something going on there.
Wano isn't connected to the rest of it, so it is Japan during their xenophobia when they've isolated themselves from the rest of the world. So we don't know what their forces are like or how many soldiers they have or what that looks like inside. Do we get a second Reverie?
I can't answer this question. You know, you cannot imagine that I would answer that question.
I just put things out there and then we see what comes. Because if we get a second Reverie, it would be amazing to see if we haven't seen it yet. Edo period. If when the curtains come down, if we get to see Wano being a part of the world government at the next Reverie, I think that would be really
Reveries
cool.
are only every 4 years, so we'd need a time skip to see
so
that.
when the curtains come down and everything happens, it would be pretty cool. If we had another time, no, because whenever you guys would talk about time skip, you would always talk about it in the singular, so I can't imagine there's a second time skip. Plus,
yet.
True enough. But a
the series
second
is ongoing.
time skip.
Anything can happen from now on.
Sterling, what are you hinting at? Let me just write that down before someone.
Oh yeah, the VV portrait adds a lot. This is great. I love Vimu as like just a silhouette figure here blocking. out being shaped by negative space. Big fan of this.
That is nice. I love that. I love that you put sword things through them all.
Yeah, I just cut them up the same way Emu did. We'll get to that when we get there.
Yeah, I love too that that when we go to the table where Garp is eating, and then he's like, the Reverie is on now. Any force capable of stopping them is dedicated to protecting the royalty. And then she asks about, he said the land of Wano is not a member of the world, blah, blah, blah. But Garp, speaking of Big Mama and Kaido, isn't the reason you're considered a marine hero? Oh, you mean rocks? I had figured you were too young to know about that. Before Roger, it was their era, but that was over 40 years ago. The past is the past.
Have you put thought into what rocks is?
Could rocks be the mother of like Shaki? Or is it a girl? Do we know? Do they say?
Eventually, you will know what rocks is and why it involves Kaido and Big Mom and Garp. Just so you know, Mama Drox has been very, very busy, so she has not had the time she had around Jaya to fully dig into all this.
What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that you haven't had as much time as you would like with this section.
Rude.
You've said that.
I think I'm fine.
Okay.
I started to wonder about whether Rox was a person that Garp was with, because it was 40 years ago. It's not Luffy's mom, somebody said, or Luffy, or mother of Luffy. No, because 40 years ago, Luffy's quite young. She would be 20. And Luffy is, how old is Luffy now? Is he like 19?
19.
Yeah. So if Luffy is 19, pet the boy. Yeah, could be like a Luffy's mom. But anyways, it was this part here that made me think, when I listened to him saying like that was before Roger, that could be the whole thing about passing on the hat. Before Roger, it was their era. And then the hat was passed off to Roger. And so that would be a whole bunch of people going in. So their era would be like
the era before Roger.
Well, you mean rocks. I figured you were too young to know about that. I know, but that was over 40 years ago. Yeah, so it's like, who else is in that age?
Do you want me to list like just general characters or specifically pirates in that age? Characters in general. You got Sengoku, you got Whitebeard, you got Shaki, you got Rayleigh, you have Suru,
but Shaki and Rayleigh were together in the same time period with Roger, and so it's not them because it's before that.
Really?
And it's not Crocus. And Buggy
was
not
a kid.
old
He's not
enough.
really the same general
Buggy was
age,
a child.
Yeah. Gloriosa, yeah, bit older, but a similar age. Yeah.
No.
Shiki, yep, Shiki.
Vegapunk.
We don't really know Vegapunk's age.
How old is Vegapunk?
Vegapunk, we don't know.
Big Mom.
Yep, okay. Big Mom and Kaido, obviously, because
I feel like Vegapunk could definitely be within that list of people who were there.
Era was it?
And Vegapunk is 65. Yeah, so 40 years ago, so we put him at 25. That's perfect Vegapunk time. And Whitebeard was still getting close to being King of the Pirates when he passed. So why would it be his era back then? And Dragon would be around the same age. But it could be the whole. How old is Kuma?
Kuma, I think, is significantly younger than all of those people.
That's what I thought. And Kuma was on board with Dragon, who's how old?
Well, Garp's child, so significantly younger than all those people.
Exactly. And this is why I'm saying, wouldn't Garp be like, how old is Garp?
Garp is around the same age as people like Kaido, Big Mom.
Yeah,
think he's
so
like
it's
70.
not Luffy's mom. It could be Luffy's grandma. I would really love it if Garp had a love interest.
I mean, he had a kid.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. Um. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting that Shirahoshi's means what name means white sun. I was trying to think of what was the first weapon that we saw?
Ancient weapon?
Yeah.
He's the first one we've seen. The first one we knew about was Poseidon. Not Poseidon, she's Poseidon. Uranus.
She's
Uranus was the
Poseidon.
first one we knew about.
It's the Pluton, and we
Pluton.
haven't seen
Fuck. No,
anything connected to
how
the
am I getting this so wrong?
Pluton.
Yeah, Pluton was the first one we knew about.
And
My
we haven't
bad.
seen a person connected to the Pluton. I think it would be interesting. I think it would be interesting to find out if all their names are going to have something to do with the sun, since hers means white star, which is white sun, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then Luffy in the center, so it becomes like a supernova. Okay,
Possibly.
I'm not going to do that right now. Also, the idea of things being called, do they not call it Pangea?
The castle? I think they do.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very interesting that it's called Pangea, like it's the whole world together, when it is the thing that divides the world. So I think they're all just little clues, like this area was never meant to exist and it was
It's in
created.
theory meant to unite the world because it's where the world comes together to govern. But yeah.
Precisely. And instead, it's the thing that's created a division. So by it going down, it reunites all the oceans and all the people and changes the currents. And I love that idea. Of course, the little piece of crap gets to the throne and decides that what Stelly wants to do is go and sit on it instead of giving. Okay, here we are. This is the part that I wanted to get into. Even though I hate, when, because this was the picture that I was going to get you to draw when Saint Charles tries to steal Wimpy Hoshi, which just devastated me. After she was like, "I'm so glad to be up here. I can't believe I get to be under the sun. We're going to create love and trust between our kingdoms." And then St. Charles comes along and tries to steal her. And then Rob Lucci for CP0, who you'd like to think that as a CP0, he becomes better in some way, because you like to think of CP0, since it's supposed to be policing those who are at the top, would be policing these pieces of shit. But no.
Nope. They're a private military force for them. They are a private military and intelligence force that works for the Celestial Dragons.
Just the dragons. And that is so incredibly devastating to see how firmly that goes. And screw you, Lucci. I hope a house falls on you.
All my homies hate Rob Lucci.
All of the different people here who are trying to save her or not get involved, and you're just like, I cannot believe that this is happening. And then he gets slugged in the face so hard. And
everybody meet our first great celestial dragon, Saint Miosgard.
I have gone, this has been a hard week. I have gone back to this picture like 5 or 6 times to just look at this image and just breathe in the full face smack and his tooth getting knocked sideways and blood coming out and his eyes going white and his face folding in on itself. That's a good feeling. That's a good feeling.
Saint Miosgard is a good boy.
And to find out that Saint Don Quixote Misgard was the one who was down underneath that time, and that he's also a Don Quixote.
Yep.
Which
it turns out the Don Quixotes are a coin flip if they turn out good or bad.
Kind of wild, because if you think about his brother being like so good, and then him being such a bad, awful person, and then him being good, so you're just like,
And Doflamingo's dad being a good person.
Yeah, exactly. So it turns out that for some
Naive, but
reason it
good.
goes back and forth. Oh, there's an ad now.
We're in ads. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a fair ad conversation to just say, like, I think it's neat that, like, the Don Quixote family seems to either be the absolute worst or, like, pretty dang good.
Yeah, because honestly, when I saw this, I was just devastated, but it's worth it. He was not wrong. It was worth it to have the moment where St. Charles, the piece of shit, snot eating bastard, gets smacked in the face. That's worth it. I really enjoyed that. But what?
I like to think that this is special, especially because it kind of tells us, to me, that the reason Dofi's dad had his change of heart. No, the timeline doesn't line up. Never mind. I read into it wrong, but I just realized the timeline doesn't make sense. Where I was like, the reason Dofi's dad has change of heart could have been his brother coming back and explaining his circumstance that he got saved by a human. But then I started to think, no, timeline doesn't add up. That's not true.
No. I don't think Mingo has a great potential to become good.
No, he could try. Try really hard.
I wish he would become good. I really do wish he would become good, but he feels like somebody who enjoys being bad.
He enjoys causing pain and suffering way too much.
It's not just that he's bad and he's trying to get his way, it's that he's bad and it feeds his soul to be bad.
Yeah.
That's why I told you, only the tiniest grain of me finds him attractive.
Of course.
The rest of me is like, oof, look away. Look away from the shiny evil. There's something about a really, really bad kid. That's really good.
There's a confidence that comes with the swagger to be willing to go against the grain and oppose everybody and take that on.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, it is shiny.
Mm-hmm.
Are we out of ads yet?
Edelgard for life. Let's move on.
But are we out of ads?
We're out of ads. Yeah, we just moved out of ads.
Okay. When we see the 5 elders and they're talking about in the Hall of Pangaea Castle, and in comes Red Hair Shanks. We don't see that it's Red Hair Shanks right now. And we only get to see our circles from quite a distance. They're really making them a lot less large in this one, which also made me feel that Oda felt like he had made them far too prominent and that he had done a set. Why is everyone calling him a rat?
So there's a meme, Shanks the rat, because he's coming in here to be a snitch and tell on a pirate to the cops.
Are you talking about he's coming to snitch on Luffy?
Well, we don't know who he's talking about, but Shanks the rat is a meme that started because he showed up here. Well, here's the thing. I don't think it's Luffy.
You don't think it's Luffy?
This, if it's Blackbeard, is the second time Shanks has showed up to warn someone about Blackbeard being a threat. So I think this is
if he's
Shanks
worried about Luffy taking on more than he can.
But what's telling the world government going to do about that? He can't tell them to hold up on somebody, but he could tell them to take someone seriously as a threat and put more military effort. Like, they might listen to that, but they're not going to listen to, hey, be nice to my boy, you know?
I think what's very interesting here is that they actually allowed Shanks to come in. We only arranged this time on your request.
That says something crazy.
You should have done nothing. You should have nothing to do with politics.
Yeah, like, what do you think that means? That they
why are they letting
him specifically?
Why are they letting Shanks specifically come in here?
Yeah, I absolutely think it's Blackbeard because I can't imagine anything he'd say about Luffy. Like, I just don't see a motivation for it. But he went out of his way to warn Whitebeard about Blackbeard in person.
What power do you have, Shanks, over them? They're telling you, like, you shouldn't be able to be a celestial because why are you down on the earth? And why
there are lots of celestial dragons down on the earth, but it would raise questions.
Why are they making time for you? You're not something like a celestial. Is it because you have godlike power of some sort? Are you capable of something very incredible, some sort of weaponry? The reason why I think he's capable of some sort of weaponry or some kind of huge thing is because of his pacifist, that he doesn't fight unless pushed and pushed, and that he has no problem with turning the other cheek really feels like one of those things that somebody who is very strong and has nothing to prove would do.
All right.
And so him being super, super strong and being able to say, like, you're going to need to talk to me. If I've decided we're going to talk, and you're going to make time for me. And I appreciate that you are, is kind of like, you remember what kind of a threat I am.
That makes sense.
Mm.
I'm still money down. He came to talk about Blackbeard.
Unless he is the son of one of the elders. Because if he was the son of one of the elders, then of course they'd let him in. Who looks like you? Him. You don't need to be a red-headed father to have a red-headed son. Whose son are you? I would. Someone is like, Mama loves the elders having a pirate kid. I do, but it's no different than any of the other people whose kids grow up to be pirates. Or a grandkid, precisely.
It is a thing you have suggested multiple times, however. What I find interesting is you tend to treat the elders far more as characters than most people I see read through the series. Like, you think of them as people and their involvement in the story in a way that most people going through don't. Like, they just, myself included, most people who go through tend to just treat them as like figures in the world, like a force in the world rather than people. And I think you have more ability to think about them because of that.
I think it's because I'm older than a lot of the people who are reading this, although a lot of them are kind of my age now because of when this came out. But I think it's because you realize at some points that the people in power who you always quivered with, who made you feel uncomfortable and had so much power in them, are actually just people who poop and eat and love and hate. And when you realize that the people who move themselves up are just you, but they're people who had enough hubris to believe that they deserve to be higher up.
I mean, real. I don't think those men have the capacity for love. I don't believe it.
They might not, but regardless, they're people. They're just big, powerful, shitty people who still go poop. Of course, mermaids poop, but then they hide it with this. So, yeah, so I just see them as being like, could it be a grandfather? Could it be a father? How are they interconnected? He obviously has somebody. Oh my God, my puppy just came home, and let me tell you, it was a white puppy. Now it is a black puppy.
She had a fun run through the
little
Ashen
black
Mountains.
Puppy. Oh, dirty puppy, your dad killed you. I think that he has
Pretty
to.
Dan, that's not what I'm saying. And I'm saying because she said the people at the top are also love and hate. And I just look at these men and they don't seem capable of love to me.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think he has to, and I've said it time and time again. We're not seeing enough with Shanks. He shows up after the big fight at Marineford. He's willing to stop and to protect Luffy, and I still think he was the protection and that Luffy was a big enough deal in some way, or he knew of Luffy's potential and he felt it in some way, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so he is a protecting agent. Like, why would somebody this powerful allow their arm to be bitten the shit off? I don't know yet. Tattoo, I'm not there. I don't know if he's going to be related to the elders. It feels like not related to the elders, but related or attached to somebody very powerful in a very big way. Yeah. At first, I wondered if he was. What?
It feels like there's a lot of things you're musing here, like that he might be a celestial dragon.
People are just getting to hear me muse out loud because, because I'm not able to go through things over and over again with your sister in the hospital. But when he first came in his black robe with the hood up, looking so tall, I was like, is he the child of Emu? Because why did they set him this way and then have the juxtaposition of Emu like right before it? And it kind of made me be like, ooh, that's a weird choice. And so that was my first thinking, like, oh, maybe he's not an elder. Maybe he is the child of Emu. Everyone just keep telling you to put the white outline on the top of Emu's head so it's defined. But
no, I don't want it. I like negative space.
I was going to say, but the problem is they can't do that. You can't do that because you're too close up to his face, so you wouldn't be at the top of his head.
Yeah, look, I like him being invisible. This is just negative space, barely present. I really like it.
Anyways, so the fact that they are allowing Shanks to be in here says to me that Shanks is it's either Shanks's power or Shanks's nepotism. Like one of the two things is allowing him into the space. So I keep asking myself, does Shanks have power that I haven't been able to see yet, that I'm not privy to? And also, why haven't I seen Shanks's power? Like, has Shanks had a dragon fruit? I don't even know that.
Devil fruit.
I've never got.
You haven't done that
Or
one in a while.
devil fruit. Well, because we're in the dragon space right now. And so if Shanks has a devil fruit, what the shit is the devil fruit? We haven't been told. We haven't seen him fight. He's still told Mihawk that he could kick his ass even after his arm was taken off. He was just like, didn't even think about it and was just like, yeah, I absolutely can just kick your ass still, and we both know it.
Whereas Mihawk was like, you're not even a challenge.
Yeah, and then Shanks was like, Bezos for real right now. We saw him swim, but then he got his goddamn arm ripped off. So I don't know. So when I saw him swim, I was like, definitely no devil fruit. But then is the power just yeah, and is the power just deep impressive haki?
I'm not putting a highlight on top of the head for a reason. I like negative space. I like that the figure's not fully visible. I like it better this way. Intentional.
And so, and did he swim when he rescued Luffy, or did he just jump in the water and grab him?
No, he swam for real.
So he did swim.
Mm-hmm.
Female, man. I don't know. So the power of haki probably in him is like beyond king power. He probably holds all the powers. And then on top of it, I think that he does have to be related to somebody who is super powerful. And obviously then it's not Emu, but it's going to have to be somebody who's high enough up that they give a shit. So why are they letting him in? I love Mancherry with Wimpy Hoshi. It's incredible. Because I love Mancherry. I love Mancherry. Are you putting frost on the hat?
I'm gonna put frost on the hat, don't you worry.
No, I'm asking this question.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
But here's the part that I super love. Meanwhile, outside the front gates of Pangaea Castle, there are 3 gates within each of their own layer of security. Well, if it isn't the Sorbet's kingdom. Queen Dowager of Sorbet Kingdom, Connie. This is the Celestial Dragon Gate. Queen Dowager Connie, beyond this gate is the land of the gods. You cannot pass, I'm afraid. It's dangerous to be here. Please return to the castle. And then we see it hurts so much. Please, St. Charles, be calm. It'll upset your wounds. You haven't heard the last of me. Oh, what in the world has happened? Open the gate. St. Charles has been injured and requires immediate medical assistance. Oh, Charles, are you safe, my boy? I heard there was an incident and I came to get you. St. Roswell, father, what happened to you, my beloved son? And she sneaks past him under the gate, which is pretty impressive all on its own, because she's very old at the time. Huh? Where did the Queen Dowager go? I'll tell you where the Queen Dowager went. That's Don Quixote Midgard is a real crank, a celestial dragon without a single slave. Between him and Home, who left for the world 30 years ago, the entire Don Quixote clan is a mad bunch. Oh, father, you have the invincible slave Kuma. And then they he has 1, 2, 3, 4 different frickin' swords and knives in his back.
Yep.
The thing wrapped around his neck, bleeding out of orifices, and the front armpit is filled with blood. Warlord of the Sea, former revolutionary officer and former king of Sorbet Kingdom. We weren't told that before.
No, this is new.
That's new information.
And
to find out that he was the king.
And wasn't didn't they say that? Did they say what kingdom the
Bonnie.
Queen Dowager is from?
Yeah, Sorbet Kingdom.
Yeah, so
she is
Bonnie
obviously
is disguised as is also from there.
Yeah. So she's either disguised as it or she leads a double life. And I'm thinking
actually is the Queen Dowager with her fruit. Yes.
Yeah. So either she leads a double life as the Queen Dowager and so then I was like, is it possible that she was just talking about Kuma when she was saying that he could have stopped this, and she was just speaking about the fact that he could have pulled back and not allowed them to use him in this way, but it doesn't that doesn't fit very neatly is the problem, because the Kumas that showed up, he didn't have any control over, right?
Mm-hmm. No, those were independently controlled by the government.
Exactly. So if he didn't have any control over them, how the hell was he supposed to stop it? But she's obviously either a subject of his or
Mama's been, for people wondering what's going on, Mama's been wondering about a line for a long time from Marineford, where Bonnie was looking at the war, particularly when all the Kumas were blasting, which is why now wondering if it was Kuma, where Bonnie goes, damn it, you could have stopped all of this.
Yeah.
Crying.
You're misremembering who she was talking
No. They don't say who she's talking about, which is why Mama's been theorizing.
No,
she's
Nasty,
looked at the page a lot.
I'm not misremembering. I'm simply trying to. We've never found out.
They never make it clear who she's talking about in that scene.
Okay, then it's not Kuma. So I didn't think I'd run across him right in the open like that. Well, I made it inside. Worst generation pirate, captain of the Bonnie Pirate Jewelry, Bonnie. You'll pay, I swear. So who is she talking to here? I don't know. Who is the you that will pay? I don't think it's definitely
the same
not.
person she was talking about at the war.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He's the finest possible slave, one that doesn't even scream. So I'm wondering if she's from Sorbet Kingdom, if she's either double lifing as both the queen, or if she's just related to the queen, or if it's just part of her ability to switch out, that she can wear people's faces like jewelry. But it's weird, don't you think? Because we already have number 2 who takes on faces.
Yep.
Yeah. Did Sherry really say, wait, I heard people are glad about you liking her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so in some way, I think because she's able to do aging of people and that she can turn into the queen, in some way you wonder if she's living a double life or if she's related to the queen. Because if she ages up to look like the queen, well, then that tells you one thing. And if she ages up and becomes the queen, then she's living her double life. But she's obviously not talking about Kuma, but she has great love for Kuma and is upset that Kuma is in the position that he's in. So there is somebody in who she is speaking about or thinking about, and I still don't know who it is, but I tended to think that it was like the black shadow that lived over the world. People keep asking whether or not that black shadow, because I said I thought that it was someone higher up, because we met Don Quixote having a conversation with the dude in the bowler hat. And the dude in the bowler hat could very much be Emu at a different time in a persona that he makes public or they make public. I don't know what it is. So,
but yeah, the shadow above the world is why you got your second diamond star. We forgot to mention diamond star for predicting the shadow over the world is Emu. Like, that's crazy shit.
Sound. Dun da da da. Yeah, baby.
The sound we used to use for gold stars before we got a custom animation.
Oh wait, bah, 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 bah. That's my new sound. Okay, so I thought maybe that she was related to the dark thing that rules over the world, but then people are saying things like, is that even human? Which makes me wonder if that thing is capable of having babies. But she's pissed at something that was capable of keeping, turning the Marine Ford War off. This one is really bothering me.
Are you certain that it was about turning the war off?
Well, she said, what was it that she said? What was her
You'll
exact
need to go
word?
back and look at the scene because I don't remember the details of what she said.
But it was like, damn him, he could have stopped this.
Yeah, it was something like that for sure. The first diamond star today was the Luffy being the 5th emperor, because that was predicted before emperors were a thing.
He was called Tyrant. We knew he was a king.
Yeah. Well, we knew. I mean, look, guys, lots of epitaphs are not so literal, like Devil
Yeah.
Child Nico Robin. However, it does
Not a
mean it's
devil.
not that surprising he's a king.
Yeah. Anyway, then Sabo underneath finds out about what they're doing to Kuma, is underground listening to it, and has to go look what is being done to our comrade, to our kind-hearted Kuma. Kuma breaks my soul. Just breaks my soul. Kuma is being victimized by the world government for his entire life. Da, 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 da. That even the hardiest man will turn out like this if he should defy the gods. So Kuma defied the gods, Kuma protected his people, and Kuma got put into the situation. I'm hoping it isn't just Kuma defied the gods. I'm praying that that Kuma also made some choices and that Vegapunk is on his side and isn't just evil. Because if Dr. Vegapunk is just evil, that's a whole different level to the story. That changes it entirely. Because he's so capable with inventions that could take down the world. The Celestial Dragons have made CPO and the Marine HQ are on their side. If we screw up and get caught, no, we're not getting caught. We either succeed or we die. Okay, so the day of the Reverie. And then they did, as a brief reminder, all the seas of the world are split into 4 parts by the red line, the looming continental wall, which I think is unnatural and doesn't exist. Okay. When you see it from the top and you see the red line and you see the new world that wraps the whole way around, and you understand, like, this is not how it should be. It should definitely not be there. The dangerous Grand Lines stretch of the sea in which Luffy's crew of the voyage portion known as the New World. The world government is a massive organization made up of the majority of the nations, numbering 170 of total. And of those nations, 50 chosen monarchs have gathered. And I like that one of them is on Luffy's armada. That's so good. So good. And how many of them are worried for Luffy. It really showed an infiltration of Luffy's leadership and Luffy's dreams. You could almost feel them like mushroom roots creeping through everything, like, because of the different people that are in here. It's almost like
it is truly crazy how much we've been able to talk about, like 6 chapters. Yeah.
You've got a case of the Luffys. Yeah.
There's a Luffy infection at the Reverie.
Yeah, baby. So here, I'm going to just read this thing that the elders say. 800 years ago, the Nefertari dynasty was the sole bloodline of the first 20 to remain in the lower realm. Remaining in the lower realm really feels like a lifting of the world, and they decided to remain because they didn't say, it's the word remain. And I don't care what anyone says. I love semantics. When you chose the word remain, it feels like there was no place to go to. They created a place to go to, and they decided to remain. Not just, we had a mountain already, and some of us decided to go onto this giant mountainy thing, and they decided not to. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So remain, that word feels a lot more like deciding to stay in the world that was, and we've now created an area where the special 20 get to go. We're anti-semantics here. And that's one of the reasons why I think that word remain is a thing that really helps us to feel like the world used to be more connected and that the red line disconnected it. In other words, pardon?
Oh, you finish. I thought you were done.
In other words, they're traitors. Has he cottoned on to something? I hate the term cottoned on.
Why? I think cottoned on is fine. I think it's a fun thing to say.
No, it's not actually. I'm not getting into it.
Okay.
Let us pray it does not derail the talks. especially with this discussion of Big Mom and Kaido. It has been 2 years since the Battle of Marineford, and the roiling will not cease. The world's equilibrium cannot be maintained forever. The time has come for a great cleansing. See, that's the part where I was like, absolutely, the time has come for a great cleansing. That they are talking about things like what will happen if you get rid of the 7 pirates and Vegapunk takes that over.
So I want to say real quick, people have assumed because I pointed out that Mama is pro-semantic that they've seemed to have assumed that I don't like semantics. I love semantics. This is a pro-semantic household on this stream.
Absolutely pro-semantics. This weird little place where we find the Chamber of Flowers, where we find Emu standing like so giantly tall with his weird ass hat, putting its weird ass finger out for a butterfly to land on. Great Emu, they have arrived. Chamber of Flowers, Pangaea Castle. And then he's got a knife through Wimpy Hoshi's eye and all the ripped up paper all around, which shows that even though we are getting a look at Emu as being a person whose emotions are fully fine, they do have emotional outbursts. The fact that they have brought up the picture of Vivi, says that I think that Vivi is the person that the light that is supposed to be erased from history.
Well, can I point out something that I think is interesting?
Yeah.
Vivi's the only one that's not cut.
Oh, that's true. But they do say the 5 elders. Yeah, but Vivi not being the one that's cut would mean that he would also be showing them an image.
Mm-hmm.
Or doing some sacred thing on it, and you don't want a cut up thing. And Vivi is a descendant of the original 20, and it's possible that her dad has figured something out.
Yeah?
Oh, great, Emu. The 5 elders are at your service. Have you decided upon another light to be erased from history? And I was wondering, when they say erased from history, are they talking about like when the toys are made, where the person completely disappears and no longer exists even in memory?
Could be.
You can't answer that.
Of course I can't answer that. That's meant to be ambiguous at this point of the story.
Simply state the name you wish stricken. And then why does he make a grrrg sound? Like, I'm sorry, Emu. You're supposed to be this big, powerful dude, and the sound you make is grrrg. Nah, gross. Do better. And that's why I wonder if it's going to be Vivi, because Vivi's picture isn't cut at all, and they're going to do some weird thing to it, because all the other ones are equally cut up, which except for Shirahoshi. Shirahoshi isn't cut up at all, except to have the thing through her eye. That would say that he would be more likely to kill Shirahoshi, because he was like, well, that's one I pick, but then why would he be carrying Vivi's?
Good question.
Be better, Emu. Thank you, Monomon. Yeah, so Shirahoshi could be picked because of the thing through her eye, no other cutting. Vivi could be picked because there's nothing, and they're just bringing it out. This frickin' dark-ass bitch is really adding a layer. Like, I knew it existed.
But actually seeing it changes things.
Yeah. I kept saying that there's a dark force or a dark shadow, and they talk about the dark shadow and the shadow of darkness. I get to change the shadow of darkness on my corkboard into Emu now.
That's a big reason I thought you should wait until the Reverie to redo your corkboard.
Ah, shit, no doubt.
That was my big reason for suggesting a delay, so that you can actually change that and put a name to the face.
Or yeah, face I appreciate that.
Put a name to the, you know what I mean, put a name to the title, whatever.
And if Emu, yes, is the Void Century, and Emu or other emus, if the emus is, if Emu isn't 900 years old or whatever, if we have a Void Century, then it would seem like you could just pull people out of history and make them go away forever, because that's how you would deal.
The Void Century, I feel like, does imply that your belief that it is erased in the way of the toys is true. Like, even if it's not by devil fruit powers, it means fully gone.
Yeah. So it would suggest that Emu asks for someone to be pulled right out. I'm really enjoying Dancing's idea that it's an emu war. You know the emus win in that war, though.
Yeah, Australia couldn't defeat. They were too powerful.
I don't want it to be aliens. Too racist for me.
Sorry, you wanna run that one more again?
Well, because when Western people who are melanin deprived think about all the amazing things that have been made in the past, they're unable to believe that people who are melanin rich are capable of that. So they say, "Alien!"
Hey, it's not just being melanin rich. They also don't believe that the very white Celts could build Stonehenge.
Yeah, but there was also great hatred for the Celts.
Yeah, it's not just about melanin. It's all sorts of racism.
Okay, I will allow that. But especially placed on people who are melanin rich when you're melanin depleted. I'm just looking this up because how long are our stupid ads?
They're done in 1 second.
Because I want to read forward, but I also have a few things I need to look at and say first. But the
Okay.
stupid ads get in my way.
Well, the ads are gone.
Oh, thank God. I've been waiting for a decade. It's been a century and a half. From now on, I'm going to come in with things I want to talk about when we're in ads.
Yeah, come in with a list of topics. Two Truths and a Lie was fun, but I've run out of good go-tos.
Why is Red Potato counting?
Red Potato just decided to steal Kaito's job today. Unbanning words, counting down? What the fuck?
Thank you, Mama, for waiting. Did I say Mama? I meant Luffy?
I'm confused too. Wait, what? Wait, Kaito undercut by doing a faster count at a lower number.
Oh my God, are we having a war?
Odds are fighting.
This is just
Wait, now
this is
Kaito
just
undercut
joy,
too.
and now
What do we
other
do?
people have come in and are adding
This is
things
honestly
to
just a
it.
callback to when we told people to count down the way back in the day.
This is an emu war for sure.
This is a callback to when we used to say, "All right, everybody, count us in," and y'all did not because it was impossible.
Bad. Okay, I think that it might be time to do this thing so we can end the war.
Oh my god, yeah.
What do you think? Do you think
Yeah, go for
fully
it.
unhinged or hinged?
No hinges.
Oh, you
zero
no
hinges.
hinges?
I say we take off the hinges. I say this van ain't got no hinges.
All right, chat, get ready to add some things and give me ideas. Hey there, YouTube. It's me, Mama Drock. You know me from such places as the Drock Show, where I drock out about drocking. So today, I want to talk to you about liking this. You should like this. Not liking this is bad for your health. It'll give you such things as rickets, tuberculosis. You will get things caught in between your teeth you can't get out. You may have snot permanently drip out of your nose and have to marry St. Charles. I mean that one. And liking this will give you such great things as full happiness and extra chocolate bars, and all of your food will be the same size it was before shrinkflation, and suddenly you will be filled with magic. You will get to choose what house you are going to be in inside of the Harry Potter world, and everyone will see you as being a super sexy version of yourself. So all I'm saying is, if you like this, greatness. If you don't like this, less greatness. But let's talk about subscribing. You should subscribe. You can hear such things in subscribing as dings that let you know there's a new show. Wonderful happiness, my smile. You don't get to see it, but you can feel it. Its hockey is rich, it's deep, it impacts your life. It does such things as get you a raise at your work without even asking for it. Letting people know that you're a leprechaun, though you're not. You will find the pile of gold at the end of the rainbow, and suddenly you will know how to do complicated math without a calculator. So all I have to say is, like and subscribe both. Also, have you thought about becoming a Patreon? If you become a Patreon, and this is not hyperbole, though I wish it was, you can listen to me read chapters out loud while riding in the back of an RV around my town and being bounced all over the place. Much fun for all. You can hear me do such things as smash my head into the side. Ask whether or not you can still hear me. Though you can, I just can't hear you. And never forget those incredible leg cramps when I forget to turn off my mic and leave the chair. So subscribe today, become a Patreon, press the like, and your life will be a better place. Full of rainbows, bunnies, kittens, sparkles, and happinesses. Unicorns will deliver your mail, and it is possible that Gryffindor isn't just a house, it's also your next pet.
What?
Okay, let me do the other one. Hi there, YouTube. If you like this, like. If you don't like this, don't like. But also stop watching. That's weird. If you don't like something, maybe, I don't know, learn to play guitar. Subscribe. Have a good day. May the 4th be with you.
Damn.
Oh, I have one more thing to say. If you have mean things to say, have you considered not saying them? Have you considered just shutting up, moving on, and finding something else to be happy about? That's all.
Hey, I just want to real quick say something too. This is going to be edited out of the video. It better be. Someone left a comment being like, hey, I love the content, but I can't believe you think Andrew Tate is bad. Andrew Tate is bad. Anyways, now we're moving on.
Okay. Red Potato told me to let everyone know about our P.O. box. If you want to send us letters and tell us about your life and be a cool person or a card or whatever and be like, hello, this is me. Oh, I like the snow. Good job on the snow. Then this is the P.O. box. It's on the screen right now because our editors are amazing. Oh my God, editors, that P.O. box is incredible. Thank you for doing that. And thank you for the animation at the end.
You are competing with this Yami Yami no Mi if you send us stuff, so just be warned about that, because
there's no competition.
there isn't. That's awful.
Okay. So some of the things that I wanted to talk about before we moved on are as follows.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to talk about that. And what's the war against the Celestial Dragons? Like, it seems as if the war against the Celestial Dragons is happening in kind of a covert way. Like, are we going to fight? Are we going to Marineford fight? Or are we going to set up bombs? Are we coming
you're gonna
out?
have to wait and see, because it definitely feels like, are they capable of militarily taking on that much? That seems like a no.
And can I just say that it doesn't feel like the shithole dragons have any kind of actual impressive things about them. Like, St. Charles doesn't feel like he has haki.
No, that guy for sure don't.
He just feels like a blob, right?
So
who's being protected by those
you do think that the elders are strong and they're the celestial dragons, so they got that.
Yeah, so the people who take care of them have power. The elders have power. Obviously, this emu bastard has power, the dark and crazy ass bastard thing. But I'm wondering, like, if you can blow up the houses underground in the dragon area and just kill those sons of a bitches from underneath, like you're the mole chick, then are we going to have any actual combat? Or is it just going to be killing?
I think you're going to have to wait and see. Are we sure Emu is a he? Not at all.
No, not even a little bit.
That way.
Yeah, I'm going to they, them. And if we haven't seen their face up until this day, that's fascinating.
I feel I get he vibes from Emu just because cutting up girls' pictures feels like a guy thing to do.
But they also
They also cut up guys' pictures, don't get me
you know
wrong, but
what?
the
If
second
I'm
someone's
gonna be
cutting up a
honest,
woman's picture, I'm like, I feel like that's a man.
you know what but they also or it also cuts up Blackbeard and Luffy.
Look, I've got my assumptions. I've got my forms of sexism that don't make sense.
But they cut up Luffy and Blackbeard. That's two of the pictures you have in here.
People are pointing out that girls also do that. Well, yeah, probably.
No, we usually just cut the boy out of a picture.
Yeah, that's the thing. Cutting the boy out of a picture, yeah.
Could you imagine if it was Luffy's mom? Luffy's mom has got it going on.
I mean, probably not, right? That feels wild. This
That would
feels like
be
a figure that people don't know exists.
Yeah, I would agree. That would be very, very upsetting. No.
No, that's not a prediction. That was not a prediction.
No.
Can you imagine? Is not prediction language.
Not even a little bit. I feel like, have we seen Emu fight? Are we going to see Emu fight? I feel like Emu is going to be one of the scariest rat bastards in the history of the world, and that the hockey level on this piece of crap is going to be like astronomical. But I feel like there has to be some sort of ritual. If you don't have ritualism with a character like Emu, like, where is the fear? I need the fear. And the fear comes in ritual. So I'm very much hoping for some of that.
Okay, I know it's a joke because of Pokemon saying, what if Emu is Clefairy? But the biggest evidence that Emu would be a woman is that Princess Kaguya is a big thing in basically all manga ever. And Princess Kaguya, by the title Princess, people might not be surprised to learn, is a woman. And I could absolutely see, as is the case with many manga, Emu representing Princess Kaguya.
Yeah. Oh, are we about to get to see the magic circles in use? Oh my god. Yes, Queen.
Look, just because Naruto did it doesn't mean One Piece can't do it well.
I think I want to see the magic circles in use. Will they bring
top 5 time? It's probably top 5 time.
Yeah, I would agree.
Who's our least favorite character? You want to start?
Yeah, St. Charlos.
There we go. Done. For Drip, before you get into Drip, because I know a lot of characters introduced here, I just wanna remind you of something, okay? And I don't do this often. I don't often like pitch an agenda when it comes to these. Did you see how cute Shirahoshi was in her blouse?
Shirahoshi was already making it into my top 5, but if you feel the need,
Drip is 2. You do 2 Drip characters.
All right. Okay, Drip. Drippity drip drop drop. Shirahoshi is adorable, but you know she's only wearing a goddamn blouse, right?
Yeah, but
Don't
really
even red blouse. Potato.
It's a really cute blouse.
I just want to say that I have decided 100% we're going to see the magic circles used in this time. I think they're going to be used by the 5 elders to bring things in to fight against the attack on the gods, on the good gods. Leo is cute. She's cute. She also has that little weird thing hanging in front of what would be a crotchal region. And she has a really cute little chain around her waist. But CP0 was dripping.
CP0 got some drip for sure.
You know what? It's CP0.
CP0? Are you doing 2 characters or CP0 taking all the slots?
No, CP0. CP0 and Shirahoshi. Wimpy Hoshi was adorable.
See,
I will allow
that. It might just be a blouse,
but CP0 is a collective.
All right. Shirahoshi and CP0 are the drip winners. Who's your favorite minor character?
The Queen of Sorbet.
Okay.
I know that she's you know what? No, Pet the Boy. You know who is my favorite minor character in this one? Those goddamn nesting doll princesses who I can't stop thinking about how they work. Because they're in that shape and appear to not have legs. I'm telling you that they're changing the way that I think about this world, and now I'm like, can you have that type of humanoid? What else can you have if you can have them?
All right.
They're really messing up my head about what you can and cannot have in this world. No, not the King of Hollywood. No. I can't stop thinking about it now. All right, nesting girl. I know that Misgard exists. I'm picking nesting girls.
Damn.
You heard.
I mean, Milsgard, you could argue doesn't count as a minor character because he interacts directly to save
Oh,
Shirahoshi.
yeah, I was also going to say that's not a minor character. That's a pretty big character.
Like the thing is he only in like one chapter? Yes, there's only 6 chapters.
Exactly. Okay.
All right, top 5.
Top 5.
Let's do it.
As brought to you by Mama Drock and Luffy.
We can't do a Luffy tier list of Luffy because like Luffy ain't here. Luffy ain't in it. Luffy's in one chapter and he's just misreading his bounty.
Let's do Luffy.
Yeah?
Luffy is a no tier.
Yeah. He's not present. Absent.
You know what I want you to put up? I want Johnson's & Johnson's No More Tears shampoo to come up with Luffy. And then I want it to be called No Tier Luffy. I love saying things.
That's the one you know that they'll do it.
I know. I love saying things that immediately I can see things like the editors being like, oh, I'll get a bottle of shampoo. I will cut that bitch out and I will stick it right on the screen. And you know what Johnson & Johnson's would say? Good. Advertise. Okay. Luffy can't be rated, guys. He wasn't in this. You can't just count people talking about him.
All he did was misread a bounty.
Yeah, like, that's not a thing. He cried and fell on the damn ground. Okay. Number...
People are saying he gets an F for being absent because he missed class.
Number 4. Shirahoshi.
Hell yeah.
She pulls things together. Her dreams come true. She gets attempted kidnapped. She comes out of it and still says while she's in chains on the ground with St. Charlo, and being touched, I might say, by St. Charlos is a fate worse than death. And she handles it. And while she's down there in the ground, she still says to her King Father, you can't lead through anger. Come on. That's just pure delight. Oh my God, you know what I forgot?
What?
St. Charlos exists, but so does Shitface, and I forgot about Shitface.
Shitface, huh? Who's that? Talking about?
Sabo's little ugly brother.
Stelly? I feel like Charlos is worse than Stelly.
Like, Charlos is so gross. Wapple's not as bad as
Look,
St.
Wapple's
Charlos.
bad. He's not Charlos.
Shirahoshi, first of all, didn't just cry. Shirahoshi still reminded her father to have character and strength and not go into hate. She was the one who got to see her dreams created by being in the sun and talked about it when it meant. She had French. She stayed as herself there and refused to listen to her father and not talk about Luffy the pirate in the middle of this thing. Like, no. She decided to go, which for her, given that she's lived in a goddamn room her entire life up until like 2 months ago, is pretty incredible. And she gets the strength to go. No. If anything, I want to move Shirahoshi up. Okay. Number 2?
Yep.
Is Sabo. No, he's not.
Who's number 2 then? Where is Sabo? What's happening?
What you're doing? It's not a big deal. I just need to move Sabo a little bit.
People are asking where Nami is. Nami got number 2 weeks in a row, guys. Come on.
Nami got number 1.
Oh, she got number 1 last week? I thought she got number 2.
Oh, I don't think it was last week. I think it might have been the week before. But
no,
at some point,
she was going to get number 1, but then Brooke stole the poneglyph at the last minute.
Brooke didn't just steal one, Brooke stole two. You can't argue that.
Yeah.
No, that would be wild. And I'm not wild. I'm very calm and normal. I'm
Yeah,
what we call
if we had have
hinged.
ended the reading 2 chapters earlier, Nami would have won that week. But well, he stole 3 poneglyphs, right?
3? I thought there was only 2 there.
No, there was 2 regular and 1 road.
Wow. Damn, that's right. Okay. Okay, well, as a hinged person, then I made the right choice.
Yeah.
Hiroshi was almost in the entire thing too. Like she was a driving force of this narrative. Let's be so for real right now. My number 1 is Emu.
Just because of how much it adds to the story for this
Are you
fucker to
kidding me?
exist. Yeah.
Emu's existence is number 1. And Emu is also like legitimately bringing the vibe of crazy and darkness. Like that is just, it has to be 1. My number 3 is Garp, because Garp was amazing in this arc, and especially Garp. What?
Sorry, keep going.
Go ahead, say it.
No, I was just gonna say, this is what I'm talking about with Garp, where he just, this point of story, every time you see him, you're gonna like him more.
Yeah?
This is why, this shit like this is why Garp is my number 3.
I hated him until he
number 4.
came. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think part of the reason that I hated Garp was because of the live action.
The live action Garp is a lot less good.
Like, will he get better later? I hope so.
Hopefully.
But the live action really made him look non-tasty.
Yeah.
And it just had to happen. Yeah, no, I'm sticking to Sabo too. Sabo and his whole plot before, and then
Vivi's
Sabo.
hair is blue. It's just in a lot of shine right now. Don't worry.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep 3 is
Take away
Garp.
the render we can get.
Did I make 4 or 5?
Oh boy, you did 1. You did Garp is 4. You did Shira.
I thought I did Garp as 3.
You did Garp is 3. Shirahoshi 4. Sabo was 2, and then I think you said no.
So I have no 5, and 2 is questionable.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay. This is really difficult between the people that I'm thinking about. Because I kind of want to move Sabo, but at the same time, Sabo is like strong throughout
the entire Luffy fan club together. They all have different actions in this section of the story. They're all doing their own thing.
You know what? I don't give a shit. I'm keeping Sabo where he is. Sabo is 2. So we've got 1 is Emu, obviously. 2 is Sabo. Yeah, makes sense. 3 is Garp, all the way. 4 is Shirahoshi, and I stand by Wimpy Hoshi getting that spot. So it's just 5. And I wanted to give it to somebody else who was in it a lot more. And I thought that I was just using my own tinted sunglasses, but it's Shanks.
All right, fucking fair. Look. Yeah. I would have put Mjosgard on there, but I think weirdly enough, for 6 chapters, there's a lot of characters you could argue being on this list. So I cannot.
It is kind of weird because I was also leaning Mjosgard, but dude, you know I love me some red hair Shanks.
Okay, but you calling him Mjosgard makes me imagine Millhouse as Mjosgard.
No, that's what I was doing. Thank you for picking that up, man. Because of his name, I always want to call him. I always want to turn him into a Simpsons cartoon.
Don Quixote Mjosgard.
Don Quixote Mjosgard. Well, look at his face. He kind of is like a. He kind of is in that direction. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay, so let's read a chapter, and then I got to go because I got to put on my fair faucet.
Oh, we also need to talk about what we're reading next. So someone built a list. Here's the sad fact, okay?
Yeah.
You don't want to read 50 chapter sections. And because this is 150 chapters about, that for us to get it done in like 3 or 4 episodes would require that. Here's the other issue. Wano is split into acts, and we are not going to follow the acts because Act 1 is only 15 chapters and Act 2 is like 30. And then Act 3...
Isn't that correct? Wouldn't that be good?
The issue is, if we only do 15 in the first one, we would probably need to end up doing 6 parts.
But I think it works to do a 15 and a 30.
Look, if you really want to, we can. Someone made a really good list that separates things with good breaking points.
But if the bigger acts can be broken down in different ways.
It's not bigger acts. It's 15, 30, and 104.
15, 30, and 104. So the 104 one can be broken down into 3 parts.
If that's how you want to do it, we can do that, and then it'll still be 5 parts. I think that works. 5 parts.
Yeah. I like to do it by arc. I hate not knowing the full thing.
Okay. We need to figure out where Act 1 ends then. But reading till the end of Act 1, I think, works.
Yes.
Okay.
So what is that?
I will need to look it up and tell you.
Thinks it's
924?
924.
Okay. The person who made the list, we can work together on deciding where to break up Act 3 then. When is chapter 1000? We will get to that. We're doing 6 parts. I think we can do it in 5. I think we can split Act 3 into 3 parts. They'll just be much longer than they were going to be.
I don't care. I like doing it in proper arc.
Okay. It's slightly longer than Dressrosa, so it's going to be Dressrosa length episodes. All right, we got this. It will be visualized, but yeah, at most 6, probably 5 parts. So we'll do Act 1, we'll do Act 2, and then we'll do Act 3 we'll do Act 3, Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3.
Wow. Can we just call it Act 3, 3.1 and 3.2, or Act 3.1, 3.2, 3.3?
All right. We're going to count the intermission, actually. Let's add the Act 1 intermission so that you have a little bit to go off of, because the intermission cuts away from Wano briefly.
There's an intermission?
There's an intermission between after Act 1 and after Act 2.
Is it more of this?
Oh, we'll be doing a chapter 1044 live read. Don't you worry, Kaito. You guys get to see that for sure.
Will the intermission be the Reverie again?
The intermission will be about the rest of the world, is what I'd say. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let's read the first chapter of Wano. Isn't this exciting? Okay. This is the arc that was finishing when you started reading One Piece.
I'm pretty excited about this, actually. I'm not gonna lie. I love this part because the guy is so sad, and yet he's seppuku. What? Why is the chapter called seppuku?
You'll see.
I don't like that.
You'll see.
I don't like it.
You'll see what's up.
The Saga of Self-Proclaimed Straw Hat Fleet, Volume 39. Olympus, 4 p.m. First pirate campaign launch attack. Yeah, baby. Okay. Seppuku. Oh, New World. You can't believe how good the Cat Viper is when it comes to sailing the seas. Of course, he was good enough to ride on the Pirate King's ship. So how long are we supposed to wait at these ruins? Until he comes back with Marco the Phoenix. He wanted Yugara to sit here because you look too scary. Is Marco really the kind of guy my face is going to scare off? I'm talking about the village, fool. Ugh, don't go over there. Mink's Guardians. Oh, why is there a giant pineapple on that boat? Oh, there's a lot of them. Interesting. That's a pineapple head. A Marco the Phoenix refresher. The all-powerful Whitebeard pirates lost their captain in the Battle of Marineford 2 years ago, and his right-hand man was Marco. After the loss of their pops, the remainder of the crew waged war against Blackbeard to avenge their captain, but it was in vain. They are now scattered far and wide to parts unknown. Apparently, on the other side of the cave behind those falls, there's a peaceful little village. It's not a place for a group of big, scary warriors to march through. Good point. But the boss looks scarier than we do. Oh, if he gets mad. but his smile is cute. Very true. Grah. There, you're all fixed up. Marco, former Whitebeard pirate, leader of the 1st Division. Ship doctor. Oh, he's really handsome here. Oh, there's ads. We gotta wait. I'm so happy for you, Drock, because when people called you
Yeah.
Marco, I felt sad because he used to be quite unattractive.
Every time he's drawn, he gets more handsome.
Did you pet the boy?
I pet the boy. It was a labor. He was very resistant to pets.
He was resistant to pets?
He's having a lazy, sleepy day and didn't want to walk up.
I'm just so happy for you that you get to have an attractive Marco so that you don't feel bad about yourself. And yes, I was about to say that, Marimarts. His neck is big now.
And I don't know if the comment I just got on the render was an insult or a compliment, honestly.
What was it?
I don't know slang. It was that it eats. I don't know if that's good
It's a
or
compliment.
bad.
It eats. It's a
All right.
compliment.
In my generation, that
You've
would
been
have
out
been
of high
bad.
school for too long, man. If
Yeah,
you eat it in your generation, it was bad.
Yeah,
but
I actually think that I've been out of high school the right amount of time.
Yeah, well, I've been in high school my whole life, it feels like.
Okay.
So if you ate that up.
Here,
So kids will say to me all the time, and I quote, Miss Jackson, that was a great lesson. You ate that up and left no crumbs.
let me tell y'all, Momadrock has always been more in the loop about slang than me, because even when I was young, I wasn't in the loop about slang in my generation, and Momadrock wants to understand what her students are saying.
You have to understand what your students are saying, or you don't understand shit. Oh my god, Paladin Berserker, no. Unfortunately, they do still sing that song. How old is that song? Older
What
than your
song?
grandmother, and yet here we are. Sorry, Miss Jackson. Whoop, I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. That song.
That song's unavoidable with the last name that we've got.
It's so ridiculous.
I'm haunted by that song, and I am not a miss.
Did Bajel just say they've never heard of it? I could not be happier.
That's great. That's good to know. All right, let's keep it up. Let's keep rolling.
Here we go. I've patched you up, and your natural healing speed should be even faster now. You can leap off that leg by tomorrow. You're good to go. But don't be reckless. My regenerating flames only have a small effect on others. Yay, Marco's magic! You're so lucky, Tama! Grah. I just made the cutest little sound. That was amazing. I'm here for it.
I love how proud you are.
I said tomorrow. Now stop leaping. Thank you, Marco. Marco, my back hurts again. It's my knee, Marco, dear. My little brother's playing pranks, Marco. Pops built this village. Old Pop's Whitebeard did. What do you mean? Countries that can't join the world government because they're too poor to pay the heavenly tribute tend to be lawless islands by and large. Suffering from pirates and slavers run amok. When the country collapses, it creates a fresh generation of orphans, and Pops was one of them. He went to sea at a young age and became a pirate, but he always cared for this place and secretly pumped dirty money and supplies into it all throughout his life. He never had a family, and his old friends are gone. But this island, it will always be his home. In a dirty world, there's no good money or bad money. It's just money. Thanks for saying that. After the battle in Marineford, we at least wanted to protect this village for Pops that he had cared so much for. When Blackbeard invaded, we started the grudge war against him. But with Pop's powers at his command, we couldn't overcome Teach anymore, and he just took everything. Huh. How I wanted to make that ingrate pay. I think I see what you mean. So this is kind of like a final memento of your Pops, huh? Yeah. Red Hair put his grave not too far from here. Pops was kind of a cheapskate, you know? He always wanted other people's drinks, and he never paid the whole tab at a restaurant. And we were okay because we knew putting his entire share of treasure into this place. By the way, there's a wardler named Weevil going around, calling himself Pops' son and attacking anyone related to the name of Whitebeard. Yeah? Is that true? I can't comment on his history with women, but This guy seems to want the inheritance. And I don't think he'll take there isn't any for an answer. I figure he'll come after me and this place soon enough. Well, I can see why you wouldn't want to leave then. Weevil's mother, Buchan, is a former pirate, 30-something years ago, close to 40. So I think she's in that group then that, what's his
The
face
people
was
whose
talking, Garp
generation
was
it was.
talking about. Yeah. She would have been on the same ship as Pops. Then maybe you've got another memento to protect. They're certainly not acting like it. If you're going to meet with Straw Hat Luffy after this, I've got a message to send along, Cat Viper. Of course, I'm all ears. You said he's going to Wano? Holy shit, that's pretty. Yep. Now we're in Wano, and there's a woman who looks like she is a geisha, and she is playing Obi, or it's not
Shamisen.
Obi, Shamisen, and the curtains part, and the whole world opens up. So it's literally curtained. Dear shit, this place is beautiful.
It might be the most beautiful island in One Piece.
He poured his heart and soul into this setting.
Yep.
That is, wow. The sakura tree growing off in a wave over top of that one building at the top, the tall, tall mountains, the gorgeous bridges, the beautiful homes. This is beautiful.
You were going to
And
be
now we
watching
get into
so many
Wano.
anime clips because of how well it's animated. So excited. I'm going to be sending you so many goddamn clips.
Hey, new guy. Is this your work up here, huh? You bet, boss. Is there a problem? You got that right. It's perfect. With a capital P. I'm paying you a compliment, so take it, you scoundrel. Of course, it's I mean, you bet. Much obliged, boss. You you cantankerous old coot. Carpenter, Franco Suke. Come one, come all, step up and see my blade, how cleanly she cuts through this paper. One sheet becomes two, two into 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, as numerous as the sunset snow of Wano. The cut is perfectly sealed, no blood at all. A mere touch and it splits the skin. But witness a miracle before your eyes with the simplest dab of my toad oil. That's almost like snake oil. Say, I'll buy some of your toad oil. I'll take 2. You've made a wise purchase, my friend. Gather round. Toad oil salesman, Usohachi. So why is Usohachi Usopp? Why have they become... Never mind, because Robin has become full geisha. That's it.
In.
Very good. What?
Because they need to blend in.
Lower your hips more. Your arm is too low. Are you dreaming, girl? I want to see more effort. At this rate, there's no way you'll receive the summons from Shogun's chambers in the short amount of time that you want to, Woo. Yes, ma'am. Geisha Arobi. Rock it out, Robin. Rock it, Robin. He looks stunning. My God. He looks so beautiful. Damn. She suits this. Like, you want to talk drip?
Yeah.
Boom, Robin.
Oh, look. We ain't done. Don't worry. There's plenty of drip to go around this arc.
You're trying to claim there's going to be someone more dripped out than Robin.
I'm not trying to claim anything. I'm stating facts.
All right, here we go. Listen closely. The Shogun of Wano was named Hirozumi Orochi, and the officials who do business all have ties to Kaido. Thus, they are arrogant and corrupt. But if you should harm them, the news will make it Kaido's ears. We must not allow our existence to be known until our allies can assemble, for the preparations of battle can begin. First, you must pass yourselves off as locals, and quietly go about your duties. I like that he says it twice because the idea that everybody else is very loud and that the Japanese tend to be a quiet society and feel that people are too loud. And why do I like that? Because then they have game shows where they run at a frickin' sticky wall and scream. And
I have to be honest, the quiet society thing is wild because when I was working retail in a tourist zone, Japanese tourists were so much louder than Chinese tourists or Korean tourists. However, in a very enjoyable way, it was expressing like exuberant excitement for everything they saw.
Which is lovely.
Yeah, no, there was no complaint, but just objectively far louder than the Korean and Chinese tourists.
His lordship, the magistrate, has caught the crossroads killer. The rogue samurai will now be forced to commit seppuku. Thank goodness his reign of terror claimed 3 nighttime victims just this month. Oh, how I hate him. That terrible crossroads killer cut down my husband in his prime.
Oh, you're gone. Oh no, I can't hear you. What has happened?
No. What?
Oh, you're back.
No, that was my sound. Worried that the person who had to commit seppuku was Zoro.
No. Oh, okay. It was that you made a noise that Discord didn't like as human. Okay. It sounded like you suddenly cut out. There was a as your voice raised outside of the threshold.
The populace has been terrified, your carnage, crossroads killer. Not only will this restore peace, but it seems we've caught a grave robber as well. In the midst of the pirate upheaval 23 years ago, we lost the remains of the legendary swordsman Ryuma and his blade, Sushi, Ronin, Zorojoro. But Crossroads Killer, you do not look so old. Did you extract these from the thief? One wonders how pristine its bite is. In my hands, I hold the great Fushu. Shu? This knife's got no hilt. Verily. A seppuku blade is short and has no hilt on purpose. It's not for fighting. You don't need one. Do you know how seppuku works? I don't like this. Don't you? If you have any samurai pride at all, admit to your crime and make amends with your death. My role is to lop off your head when you're done so you don't suffer. Ah, well, in that case, so long. Just don't wail and blubber. The samurai's true worth is in his end. We have witnessed and we have evidence. This death gives you far more dignity than you deserve. Rejoice in your seppuku. What the shit? The music plays. He takes something out. What?
Everybody else is doing so well blending in, and here's Zoro being accused of murder and sentenced to death.
I can smell blood, and it says you're the killer. He takes out the knife and cuts right through a house. What? With the seppuku blade? I'm sorry, Kinemon. Oh, shite, baby.
Yep. No, Zoro stocks up. Zoro stocks don't stop going up in Wano. Come on, this is...
Yeah. Oh, I have a feeling my friend Zoro is going to be finding himself in the 1 position a lot.
Immediately, we get an open on Wano, and he's cutting through a building from, like, across the courtyard with a seppuku knife. Whatever. Yeah, if
I was just rating this 1 chapter, Zoro is number 1, number 1, number 1, and then all the other ones, too. I'd put Robin at number 5. Zoro can have 1 to 4. God dang.
Do you want to hear something even cooler?
Okay.
You have to go, so we're not going to watch it right now. But the anime turned this whole section afterwards into like a fully choreographed fight scene, because instead of adding filler in by just adding in conflict, they decided to start animating off-screen fights. So the rest of this isn't drawn because it's a foregone conclusion that Zoro's going to kick ass. But they did like high effort Kill Bill style choreography and animated this whole sequence incredibly.
Oh my
Yeah, it goes
god.
so hard. It's insanely
I
good.
almost wonder if I should be watching
You
Wano.
shouldn't be watching because it's still the pacing overall is pretty bad, but there are so many clips I'm going to send you.
Oh,
There is
it's so
also
weird.
there are 2 chapters that you are going to watch instead of read because of how good the adaptation is.
I can't believe how strange it is that like so many people are watchers of One Piece, and yet you always talk about how badly it's
Oh
done
yeah,
on the whole
it's
for
because
pacing.
it's telling a really good story. A really good story poorly told is still a good story. So if people have never tried the manga, they're going to think like they're going to love it. I loved it on my first read through. And even like and Wano is really well directed. It's just because of the pacing of it. Like One Piece is a very fast-paced manga and the anime is a crawl because they're adapting usually 2 chapters per or sorry, like half a chapter per episode. Each chapter is usually stretched with content over um, at least 2 episodes, if not more.
Uh,
Yeah, and most people
well,
don't like reading is another thing. Um, but yeah, the pacing is the big issue. If you haven't read the manga to compare it, the pacing doesn't feel like an issue. Going to the anime from the manga is very difficult, but there are lots of scenes that individually are incredibly well done in Wano.
I'm excited. This is some of the most. I am so excited that I read this in color. I'm so grateful somebody colorized it because Robin's fit in this in
Oh yeah,
color. Wow.
I I think Oda has done a great job with the landscapes in all of One Piece, but I don't think any island looks as beautiful as one. It's it's so stunning.
And he talks about how he often allows the landscapes to be done by his team, but this feels like he took full control.
I think what from what I've heard, usually when he's doing the establishing shots, he does those so that the artists know what they're drawing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
guys, I think we're done.
I am,
Only
and
3.5 hours.
the beginning of this was so crushing with poor Pineapple Marco.
Yep.
Like just wild crushing. Wow.
Oh yeah, it's gonna stop being colored by 973. So
I
halfway through
know. I
Wano,
was
about
looking. It's not 973 anymore. It gets stopped being colored at 1004.
oh, that's pretty far. That's you get most of Wano.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's not. It's a little bit. Yeah, I read the SBSs. The SBSs are in here.
Y'all, I'm excited. I'm so thrilled about Wano. This is my favorite arc. I think there's a part
Oh,
in
this
the
person wants me to read the SBS, is what they're saying.
there's a part in the late middle. We should be rating. There's a part in the late middle of Wano that I think kind of lags a bit and gets a bit slow. But the highs are so high that this can't not be my favorite. I love this arc. It's beautiful.
I'm already enamored. I'm only allowed to read to what?
Someone tell me where the arc post Act 1 cutaway, the interlude, the
I thought it
intermission,
was
where that ends.
924.
Apparently, I'm supposed to look at spoiler chat. I'm gonna go to spoiler.
925 is the intermission chapter. Okay.
Oh, good.
I'm going to put that
Okay,
here.
17 chapters because we're doing the intermission. We're reading to 925. Perfect.
Okay.
The person who did the first list made a new one, and it's just as good. This is very good.
Who is this person?
This is Bombiga, and they have set up Act 1, Act 2, both including their intermission, and Act 3, Part 1, 2, and 3.
Cool.
They've even given names to
Okay.
them, which I think is great. Oh, and the
I love
longest
that.
section you're reading is only 37 chapters, so we're staying
Oh, I
within
love
our
that.
goals.
I love that.
They
Yeah.
did a really good job.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Bomb Digger.
Mhm.
I have to go because I need to go for my anniversary dinner.
I'm gonna see who I want to raid. We're oh,
Wait a
Lysol is
minute.
cool.
I do want it written in predictions that we're using the magic circles in the coming up, that we're going to
Okay,
see magic
we'll
circles
see
used.
magic circles. We'll see if we see them.
We're going to find out what they're for.
Okay, guys, I am sending you to Axial Matt because he's cool. That's all. And Banjo
Oh,
Kazooie is
if
cool.
you're in Discord, go watch Dr. Jack. They have put a little thing in there of the devil fruit. It's hilarious.
Oh, nice. That's amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody, We love having you. This is amazing. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited to start Wano. We're finally here. We are at,
so
as of right
excited.
now, my favorite arc. Probably won't be pretty soon once the current one wraps up.
Yeah.
The current one's
I
crazy.
look forward.
Everybody,
Thank you
for
Reputator.
being here. Thank you for watching.
Bye,
you guys make
everyone.
this worthwhile. And until next time, it's been lovely talking to you. And you wanna say
on squishies.
Yeah. Bye everybody. That's great.